The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Detroit.
This special presentation of Football Week in Michigan, live from Big Rapids, is presented by Kroger. The campus of Ferris State University is the place to be on this second Saturday of November. It's got everything football fans could want. A raucous atmosphere, a conference championship on the line, postseason implications, and more importantly, two bitter rivals. Football Week in Michigan brings us to the battle for the Anchor Bone Trophy, the Grand Valley State Lakers and Ferris State Bulldogs. It's now on Fox Sports Detroit. The emotion is live. The emotion is real. Welcome to Big Rapids alongside former Michigan standout Devin Gardner. I'm Matt Shepard. We'll hear from Brooke Fletcher a little bit later on. This has been awesome. You and I have been here since early this morning. The tailgating, the passion, the love affair with college football. How do you feel?
This is amazing. I haven't seen an atmosphere like this since my playing days. I mean, this is going to be insane. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see these two teams duke it out. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's number 2 against number 14 in the country. The reason Ferris State is at number 2 for a lot of reasons, but they've got a trio of quarterbacks that are pretty impressive. No matter what they do offensively, they're in pretty good hands, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't see a better trio in the whole country. This is amazing to see one guy, right, Arden Hill, trophy winner, and then you have another guy that comes in, and he's the GLIAC reigning player of the week. I mean, there's not a better trio in the country, and I think these three guys are really going to push them forward.
So JR Campbell can do it all. Evan Cummings leads this team in rushing touchdowns. And then Travis Russell, the reigning GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week. Tony Anise has a treasure full of talented quarterbacks. Campbell listed as doubtful because of an injury, but we saw him warming up, and he looked pretty fluid.
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, I'm really excited to see what they do with the quarterback situation because he's a talented guy. We've seen him out there warming up, and I think he's ready to go. And because of the kind of competitor he is, I think he wants to go.
It's an offense that averages 42 points per game and averages over 500 yards per contest. They will be severely tested today because Grand Valley's defense is legit. Why?
That daunting defense is amazing. And I think the best thing about them is they play together. They're going to be a phenomenal team throughout the rest of this year. And I think today they're going to put their skills on display and try to slow down no matter what quarterback they have.
They also have revenge on their mind, Devin. How much of a factor is that, knowing that Ferris State has kind of ruled the roost as of late in this rivalry?
I mean, if you're Grand Valley, you got to be very upset of the way things have gone for the last few years because they've been so dominant as history goes. And now Ferris State is kind of taking the reins, and I think that Grand Valley is coming here to take it back.
Grand Valley has something to prove. Ferris State is trying to go unblemished for a second consecutive season. It's a team that has dominated at home as of late. The Bulldogs are so tough in front of their wild faithful. They've won 39 of the last 44 here in Big Rapids. They can't wait to kick it off, and neither can we. It's the Lakers and the Bulldogs, and we'll hear from Ferris State head coach Tony Anise when we come back on Fox Sports Detroit. You want passion? You want emotion? You've got it on a snowy Saturday here in Big Rapids. You've got a perfect view of Big Rapids, Michigan, home to the second-ranked team in the country. This is where one of the best rivalries in the nation will take shape. A showdown in the GLIAC awaits. Tradition and history, legend and pedigree. That has everything and nothing to do with today. Today is the urgency of the instant, the currency of the hour.
Get the mind activated now.
The rivalry that's right now. To own the only thing they can, the moment, and it's here.
Oh, it's a great day to be a Laker!
That Laker line will shine.
Is he going to do it again? He's into the end zone. My goodness, what a night.
That Ferris dog will hunt.
Now taking over the game.
That field will rock. Not like it's the playoffs, but what it damn well might be, the play-in. Welcome to Big Rapids, and welcome to Football Week in Michigan.
Can't wait for the 50th all-time meeting between Grand Valley and Ferris State here in Big Rapids with Devin Gardner. I'm Matt Shepard. We welcome in the third member of our broadcast team, Brooke Fletcher, on the sidelines. Brooke?
Thanks, Matt. Coach, one of the biggest games of the season with playoff implications on the line. What was the message to your team this week as you prepare for this game?
Just go out and have fun. You know, it's you train for big games. You want to just go out and just let it all out there.
Let's talk about this crowd. They're bearing the cold to come and support you guys. How much are they going to energize you and your team today?
Oh, they always do. You know, we've been great here, so we're excited to be here in front of our home crowd.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Matt, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thank you very much. Tony Anise coaching his 100th game as Ferris State head coach today. And Devin, he is 7-2 all time against Grand Valley. Some good success, but these two teams have had some great games recently.
I mean, that's exactly what you want from your head coach when you come to this university. You want to make sure that you beat your rivals, right? And you make sure you do it handily, and they're doing a great job.
It'll be Ferris State's offense that gets first dibs, and Josh Gorbel will kick it away. Dion Earls, second-team All-GLIAC a year ago, will take it from his own 5. And wrapped up at the 20-yard line. That's where Ferris State's offense takes flight. 11th in the nation in rushing, 7th in total offense. And let's see who's at the quarterback spot. It'll be Travis Russell, Devin, who was the GLIAC Player of the Week last week.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see him get down in this game because we've seen JR Campbell. He's been amazing, but this young guy has been amazing too, and I'm very excited to see him do his thing in this game. 3
touchdown passes in a win over Michigan Tech last week. He will throw to start the contest, and it is caught for a first down past the 40-yard line. Good pitch and catch to Xavier Wade.
Great placement by that throw. That is an amazing throw from a guy who gets his start right in this rivalry. It's going to be amazing to watch him to continue to develop right here. Ball placed perfectly on the back shoulder right. You see this all the time in the NFL and beyond. Everybody's doing it, and it's a great job by him.
Pretty darn good coverage, too. First time on the ground. This is Marvin Campbell. Bounce into the outside and spinning his way close to midfield. Grand Valley defense ranked 16th in the country in scoring defense, number 2 against the pass, and number 7 in total defense. Up front, Mike Pettis is a horse on the outside. Tyler Bradford leads this team in tackles. He's got a couple of senior corners in Moore and Johnson. Second down and short for Ferris State. Russell wants to throw, and does, and a wide open receiver for a first down. That was Javon Shaw, the senior from Farmington Hills, Michigan.
I mean, this is about as good as you want to start, right? The first 3 plays, 3 gains, and on this last play, checking it down to your open receiver when you don't have anything downfield. That's exactly what you want to see from your quarterback in his first opportunity in this rivalry.
Helps to build that quarterback's confidence with throws
without
like
question.
that.
You get some completions. You see the ball going in your receiver's hands when it's cold. That's exactly what you want.
3 receivers set for the Bulldogs. They'll throw again, and that one is almost picked off. Good coverage by Jalen Moore of Grand Valley. He's the transfer from Dixie State. Russell is senior from Grand Rapids West Catholic, where he was a 2-time All-State selection and won back-to-back state championships there. Those are his numbers on the season. Last week in the win over Michigan Tech, 13 of 19 for well over 300 yards and 3 scores.
This young man is a winner. He's a signal caller that you want to see, and it's going to be exciting to continue to watch him in this game.
Staring at a second down and 10. On the ground and up the middle, Marvin Campbell, the junior from Detroit Loyola High School. Second team All-GLIAC a year ago.
This is a great set. When you have these guys outside at wide receiver, you empty the box and give a chance for you to run up the middle, and it's a great job. You want to get 5 yards on second down when you didn't get many yards on first.
This drive started at the Ferris State 20. They've moved it to the Grand Valley 40 on a third down. Russell will keep it. lunges his way to the 37, shy of the first down marker.
Shep, you want to see him when he gets to this outside, maybe stick his foot in the ground and try to get north and south so he can try to get the first down. It's hard to get on the outside with this fast defense, and that's going to be difficult for him. But we've seen Coach Elise want to go for it on fourth down, and here we are right here.
They're a 60% conversion rate on fourth down for Ferris State on the season.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a shot taken up here at the top of the screen with their best receiver.
Man coverage on that receiver. Russell's going to keep it, and he's not going to get it. Good job up front by Grand Valley's Dennis Johnson, the junior from Columbus, Ohio.
I think the high snap affected that play more than anything, because with that high snap, it slows everything down. Now you can't stick your foot in the ground and get north and south as quickly as you want. Gives the defense a chance. And with this defensive speed, that's going to be a problem if that continues.
Well, you talked about how legit this Grand Valley defense truly is. So they bend a little bit. They don't break. They hold them on fourth down. And now the Grand Valley State offense. They start on the ground with Arion Kane Vesey, the sophomore from Michigan City, Indiana. This offense led by Cole Katopka, who's thrown for over 1,400 yards and 16 touchdowns. Up front, they've got bookend tackles who are redshirt freshmen. Brandon Wadley had a career day last week, but Austin Parity leads this team in receptions and yards.
They have two guys that can really go get it.
Second down and 10. Katopka wants to throw. All kinds of time. Middle of the field throw and incomplete. Intended for Brandon Wadley, the junior from South Bend, Indiana.
I think that's a matchup that's going to be great for us. Brandon Wadley was, like you said, phenomenal last week. And this is why I love football, right? If that ball is literally 1 inch or two a little bit further down the field, that might be a completion and a huge play for the top.
Good pressure up front. Austin Edwards leads the way, has a team-high 11.5 tackles for loss. The linebackers really good, led by Sam Hybor. He leads it in tackles, and James Caesar leads this team in interceptions with 5. It's 3rd and 10 for the Lakers. Katopka will throw. A twist up front, chases him from the pocket. He throws on the run, and it's too high and incomplete. Intended for Wadley again. It's a 3-and-out for Grand Valley.
We've talked a lot about Grand Valley's defense, but Ferris State's defense is really, really good as well. We love to see that they love to play man, and playing man is going to free you up to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and they're chasing him out of the pocket, and right there you saw they're playing man, they believe in what they do, and they're going to continue to do it.
It's interesting you say that, because you and I were talking with some of their defensive players during practice, and they said, we think we're a little underrated, but we kind of like that, to kind of fly under that radar. Dion Earls is back to receive the punt. Kyle Kalea will put a right foot into it. Earls watches it skip, and it takes a nice Grand Valley bounce all the way, nestled inside the 2. What a job by the punting unit of Grand Valley. Special teams so very important, and early on the defense has kind of set the trend in this rivalry. First it was Grand Valley forcing a fourth down inability to convert, and then it's Ferris State's defense to force Grand Valley's offense 3-and-out. More to come after this. The 11th ever meeting between these two when they're both ranked, but they're playing for more than just pride, aren't they, Brooke Fletcher? What are they playing for?
Yeah, Matt, this rivalry goes back 50 years, but the Anchor Bone Trophy has been on the line since 2002. It's gone back and forth between the schools, but for 6 of the last 7 years, Ferris State has taken it home, and they plan on keeping it here in Big Rapids today, Matt.
Yeah, it's something that means an awful lot to both these programs, and these players are well aware of what's at stake here today on a chilly Saturday. A season-long punt for Grand Valley has pinned Ferris State at their own 1, and a back shoulder throw incomplete. Almost got him out of a bit of a hole, but Jalen Moore continues to excel at the cornerback spot.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job. At practice, we saw them work on this back shoulder throw ad nauseum almost, and that's a phenomenal job. We have to make that play if Ferris wants to be successful in this football game against this daunted defense.
Evan Cummins is in as the quarterback, the sophomore from Livonia Churchill.
I think you should look for an off-tackle run to the right here.
Well, it's a run for sure, but not much yardage to be had up the middle. Grand Valley's interior defense has been stout. And a good job coming up to fill the hole by Brendan Brown, the linebacker. Third down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
I think this will show how much they trust Travis Russell, right? This is a spot where you may not want to take a shot. You want to run this ball, maybe punt it away. But I think they do trust him. They may take a shot here.
At 48% conversion rate on the season on third downs, Russell does take a shot. And what a grab at the 25-yard line by their best wide receiver, Cy Barnett.
That just shows how much trust Travis Russell has in Cy Barnett, right? He drops one on first down, a perfect throw, and then he throws another perfect dime right in his arms. That's an amazing throw, and I'm very excited to see stuff like that for the rest of this game.
30th catch of the year for Barnett. Man, that was laid in beautifully, and that's a challenging catch against a challenging corner in Jalen Moore, who had good coverage.
Shep, we like to call those long handoffs, right? You're just basically handing it to him from about 40 yards away, you know.
Huge third down and 10 conversion for the Bulldogs. Ranked second in the nation. On the ground, Campbell bouncing to the outside and getting close to another first down. A long gain on first down there.
That's a phenomenal play, Shep, but I just need to, we need to see these snaps get down some. It's going to get difficult if we cannot get good snaps from Ferris' center.
Gain of 7 up to the 31-yard line. Campbell last year, 874 yards, was a high school 3-year starter at Loyola. Dragged down shy of the first down carry there. It'll bring up third down and short for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's no stranger to running the football. Detroit Loyola runs a lot of run plays. You know, they don't throw a whole lot. And so I'm sure he's ready for this opportunity.
Led his high school team to 3 state title games. Was a first-team All-Stater. It's a third down and short. Again, Campbell broke a tackle and into the second level, out to the 42 for a first down scamper. Jalen Harden made the tackle.
I mean, you love to see him. This is what this game is about, right? Break a tackle and then finish him. Finish right through his chest. That's exactly what we want to see from a running back in this game.
Good job by the right side of that offensive line, too, to pave the way.
Absolutely.
Couple of third down conversions for Ferris State on this drive. Russell going deep. That's a home run ball and a nice adjustment for the grab from Xavier Wade. Inside the Grand Valley 20.
When you're feeling good, good things happen. He's thrown some amazing balls. That ball wasn't perfect, but great job by his receiver to come back and get the ball, and he could have drawn a pass interference, but we want to catch the ball. We don't want to get pass interference calls, and that's a great job by him.
Wade second in the nation, Devin, in yards per catch at 26.5. It's another first down for the Bulldogs. Campbell dances his way into the red zone. Tony Anise in his 8th year here in Big Rapids. 84 up, 15 down. A 2-time GLIAC Coach of the Year. Wants to keep his offense rolling at second down. He's got bunch receivers to the left. Russell's going to keep it. Didn't fool anybody. Stuffed right there by Brendan Brown.
15, Brendan Brown.
So at the 20-yard line after the loss there, another third down situation for Ferris State. It's 3rd and 7 to move the chains. They're 2 for 3 on third downs so far here today.
Keep an eye on his guy, Cy Barnett. He trusts him, and he makes a lot of big plays.
He comes in motion to isolate on the right side. That's where he looks, that's where he throws, but it's incomplete.
Pass intended for Barnett, incomplete.
More pressure up the middle from Dennis Johnson of Grand Valley.
And Dennis Johnson's pressure is exactly why that throw was a little off. He had to throw it just a tad sooner than he wanted to, and I think they're probably going to go back to him here.
Look at the red zone and what Grand Valley has done so far, and a lot of that because of those big guys up the middle. Hard to believe, but Dennis Johnson played just 1 year of high school football, and now he's playing for the 14th ranked team in the country.
I mean, that's very impressive, right? Because if you don't play football, there's no replacement for reps, right? And if you don't have a whole lot of reps, it's hard to play at this level. But he's doing it, and he's doing it well.
37-yard field goal attempt for Jake Dieterle, and it's blocked, but a stoppage of play, I think, before the snap. It's a delay of game, it looks like, against Ferris State.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Shep, I think they were kind of thinking about going for it there because Coach East loves to do it, and they were kind of late getting their guys out there.
And now it looks like they're going to go for it, doesn't it? What do you think about this, and what do you do in this situation?
I mean, you're fighting for the ankle bone. I think that you love doing what you do, and I think you should continue to do it. And you have some guys out there, and they're going to play man, it looks like here. And if they play man-to-man on sidebar now, I say give them another chance.
Needs to get to about the 13-yard line to keep the drive alive.
Looks like it's going to be man-to-man, Shep.
Needs 12 yards, and it's incomplete. Intended for David Harrington. And Grand Valley turns them away again. Second time already today in as many drives in which the Lakers defense stop them on 4th down and give it back to the Lakers offense.
Welcome back to Top Taggart Field. On Friday night, Football Week in Michigan, ambassadors Joik Bell and Devin Gardner participated in a community event here in Big Rapids with student athletes from Ferris State. Angels of Action hosted the event for their backpack food program, where the group packed 100 backpacks for local elementary students in the Big Rapids area who are in need of food. While there, Angels of Action was presented with a $500 gift card from Football Week in Michigan sponsor Kroger and a $500 monetary donation from the Ford Fund for Motor Company's philanthropic arm. For more information on Angels of Action and for other community partners, please visit fwiminfo.com. Matt?
Love it, making a difference, and Brooke was there as well, as you could see. Here's Grand Valley's second possession of the day. They'll start it on the ground. A little bit of a hole there, and a tug down at the 41-yard line. Kane Vesey with a nice gain on 1st down to get the Lakers' best offensive play of the day.
As a running back, you want to see this. You don't want to see any other color from the other team. And that's a great job by the Grand Valley offensive line, moving guys out of the way. Just completely a hat on a hat, and that's exactly what you want. And then you want to see your running back drag a guy for a couple extra yards in this game.
Picked up 17 on that 1st down run. He's their leading rusher, and now they'll go jet motion and an inside handoff to the edge and into Ferris State territory. This offense led by the junior from Plainfield, Illinois, Cole Katopka, is feeling a lot more comfortable at this position. Remember, Ferris State is a team that had a lot of talent a year ago, but lost a lot of talent too, including the quarterback spot. Did throw for 500 yards in limited action last year. Katopka on a 2nd down and short. Perfect time to throw. Deep drop and slings it out for a 1st down grab. Inside the Ferris State 40-yard line, Austin Parity.
Number 5, Austin Parity.
That's a very impressive job by Katopka, because he could have been baiting and tried to make that home run throw, but I think Ferris had a good handle on it. He comes down, drops his eyes, and puts the ball right where it needs to be.
Parity comes into the game needing 83 yards to become the 13th ever to reach 2,000 yards receiving.
You can clearly see he's going through his reads. His eyes are up high. He drops him down and puts it right on Parity's chest.
Picked up 12, so a couple of big plays on this drive for Grand Valley. Kane Vesey hops his way for a tough gain of a couple. Got a late surge there from some of his big fellas up front before Austin Simpson made the tackle.
In the Anchor Bone Trophy game, you want to see your running back make guys miss in the backfield, right? He should have gained 0 yards or maybe even lost a few, but he got a few yards because of his own heart and his own aggression.
And picked up 4 there. Grant Dempster, you saw a good look there. He's the tight end. Sometimes they use him as the H-back. Not a passing threat, but boy, can he plow some way for those tailbacks. That now includes Tariq Reed. He's the redshirt freshman from Davison. Play action, Katopka going deep for Parody, and he's dragged down at the 5-yard line. That's a penalty against Ferris State. Alex Thomas, the guilty party there. Parody remains down. Well, what has been different for Grand Valley on this drive compared to drive number 1?
I think they're a lot more comfortable. The sun has come out, right? They're maybe feeling a little warmer, and I think they're feeling like, okay, the jitters are out, all the extracurriculars are done. We're going to play this football game the way we played for the better part of the end of the season, and that's what they're doing. They're moving the ball down the field, run, pass, and they're doing a very good job. This is a great job by Parody, their guy, and as you can see, the Ferris State defenders just had to pull him down so he won't give up a touchdown.
So you don't mind, I mean, Alex Thomas is beaten there, you don't mind a penalty like that if you're a coach?
Just because of the rules of college football, you don't get the spot foul, right? It's not the NFL, and so now you get a chance to get a 15-yard penalty instead of a touchdown, and I don't know about you, Shep, but I think I'll take a 15-yard penalty every day of the week.
Amen. Grand Valley concerned, too, because their best wide receiving threat, Austin Parody, remains down. This is a tough one for Matt Mitchell, too, the head coach of Grand Valley, because remember, Parody's the guy who he was a 2 or a 3 in this offense. The question about him, could he be a legit number 1?
Yes.
And a good route runner who does a good job on curls and digs has been doing a much better job this year as that number 1 wideout and become a go-to guy. Good to see him walk off under his own power.
I think the emergence of Wadley has really, really helped him out as well, because all the pressure. And now running those drills, those intermediate routes, and I think that's great for him.
And has helped Grand Valley get the red zone. Ball marked at the 18 of Ferris State. Good red zone offense for Grand Valley this year. They're at an 81% clip and went 4 for 4 last week in a blowout win over William Jewell.
Ferris State's really committed to playing this man-to-man defense.
Katopka out of the pistol, and it's an option. Left-handed flip. This is Tariq Reed, pushed out of bounds, shy of the 15-yard line. No, they'll mark him inside the 15 at the 14.
Rolled out of bounds by the Bulldogs. Number 4, Nassim Hosen.
This is the perfect defense you want to have against the speed option, right? Because you're playing man-to-man, right? So somebody has the running back, so they're just going to be chased the whole way. And then that's a great job of just running down the field, running down laterally instead of running across the line of scrimmage so that you can make the play.
Najim Hosen able to drag him down, but not before he gained 4 to make it 2nd down and 6. Katopka rolls the pocket. Pressure comes from Edwards. It's still coming, and Katopka goes down. Austin Edwards never gave up on the play.
Katopka sacked by number 8, Austin Edwards.
It's a tough play for Katopka. It seemed like he thought he had just a little bit more time than he had. Maybe he thought he was moving a little bit further away from the defender. He probably would have got that ball out had he known the defender was a little closer. But we don't usually see Katopka as a guy that runs around, right? He gets a chance to get outside. He maybe thought that 8 might have slipped or fallen down, and so maybe that's why he didn't throw the ball away.
Edwards, a senior from Lansing Waverly, and an All-American a year ago. They'll set up a screen. It's a slip screen, and it looks good, and hopping his way inside the 10-yard line is Brandon Wadley. Now, what does Matt Mitchell do? Boy, that's a nifty play. 13, wasn't it?
Oh, that's exactly what you want to see, right? You have a long distance to go, and they're not ready, and you throw the screen to one of your most explosive players.
All right, what do you do here?
This is a tough one, Shep. This is a tough one, Shep. But because this is the anchor bone game, I'm going to go back to it. You have to prove that you belong here. And I think that they need to prove that they belong here, prove up front. Those Hogs up front want this ball behind them, and they have to give it to their running back, and they have to get the first down.
So you want to go into Kane Vesey? Let's see what Matt Mitchell and his offensive staff decide to do. On a 4th and 1, they'll give it to Vesey. And this will be a really interesting spot because it sure doesn't look like he got it. He didn't. Grand Valley has held Ferris State on 2 4th downs. This time it was the Bulldogs defense turning the tables, and Avante Bell forces the Lakers offense off the field. You want to flex some muscle? They're doing it with a defense at Big Rapids today. These explosive offenses have been held in check by the defense, and we exploded on the scene early this morning. The pregame tailgate was awesome. Folks made us feel great, just like the folks at Crank's Catering from Metro Detroit and Cranker's Brewery. Appreciate all their help for pulling off a memorable tailgate party this morning. The food was out of sight, and I still want more. These folks will open their arms to us, Devin. The people here in Big Rapids, they have been so welcoming, so friendly. We've enjoyed our days here, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I felt about like a huge piece of pork early in the morning. You know, we got here pretty early. But when I tell you that melted in my mouth, I mean, that was amazing. Thank you so much. Can't wait to get some more, maybe. Just save some for me. Don't let everybody eat it all.
They had to shoo me away. Enough, okay? Stop eating everything. All right, let's see how Ferris State handles their 3rd offensive drive of the afternoon. The first 2 ended on 4th downs and coming up short.
I think they're going to throw it out here to him.
This is Tyler Minor. First carry of the day, and it's a big one. Stiff arms his way all the way down the sideline, past the 30, close to the 35-yard line. Jalen Harden pushed him out of bounds.
They're having a lot of success with this outside zone play, and I think at some point they're going to throw the ball to the top of the screen to that bunch set to get that ball out quickly and get it in their athletes' hands. But if you watch here, you got these guys pulling around and still on the edge, and he finds the crease. He stiff arms the guy. That's an amazing play by a guy who we like to see continue to play well.
Picked up 24, the junior from Flint, Carmen Ainsworth. Another carry up the middle, spinning his way out of a would-be tackler and weaving his way past the 45 to the 46. Tyler Minor continues to excel in his opportunity to tote the rock.
Details, details, details. If you watch here, the ball is in his hands, and you have a guy reaching in, and he changes hands, right? Especially, that's exactly what you want to see. Get a guy out of the way, protect the ball. Ball security is the most important thing in a game like this, and if you don't protect the ball, you might end up on the losing end.
1.5 left to go in this opening quarter. Travis Russell, the senior from Grand Rapids, will throw on 1st down. Has time across the middle, and it's caught by Barnett. Slips his way inside the 40 to the Grand Valley 38.
Both these quarterbacks are doing a great job of not being baited into a huge throw, right, and taking what the defense gives them.
Barnett, one of the go-to guys in this Ferris State offense, that averages 252 yards through the air per game this season.
Got man-to-man up top. I take a shot.
Russell looks right and throws that way, and it's incomplete. Throws it away because of the good coverage downfield. Antonio Strong, the sophomore from Grand Rapids Catholic Central, in on the coverage.
For the viewers at home, you're probably thinking, why would he throw the ball way up there? What are you doing? That's a great play by that quarterback, making sure that nobody can catch the ball right. Because we've seen Charles Woodson against Michigan State in '98 jump out of bounds and catch that ball for interception. So make it clear that you're throwing the ball away so nobody has a chance to get it and move on to 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10 now for Travis Russell in this Ferris State offense. Russell keeps it. Had a lane, instead bounces to the outside, found another lane and sneaks inside the 20. Nice run for the senior quarterback. Jalen Harden prevented a Ferris State touchdown.
I can all but guarantee you that Grand Valley, when they saw that JR Campbell wasn't playing, they were very excited, right? But we have a guy in Travis Russell here that can do these same type of things, and that's a huge run for a great guy.
Matt Mitchell said our defense will be prepared for each of their 3 quarterbacks. We've seen 2 of the 3, but it's been dominated offensively by Travis Russell. He's done it with his arm, and on that last play, he did it with his legs. Can Matt Mitchell's Grand Valley defense stand strong yet again? They have held the Bulldogs off the board so far here in the first. The second quarter is upcoming. Grand Valley and Ferris State in a tug of war for their anchor bone here on Fox Sports Detroit. Yes, it is snowy. Yes, it is cold, but you'd never know it if you're talking to folks before this game. They are so fired up about this matchup. And so far, Devin, we've seen some pretty darn good defense, maybe a little different than most of us expected coming in.
Oh, without question. And even though it's cold, these guys are on fire. They are playing with their hair on fire. They're making sure that they make sure that everybody knows from home, everybody up here knows that this game means a lot to them, and they're going to finish it.
Dennis Johnson has been a force inside for Grand Valley. And you see how much of a difference the Ferris State defense has made as well. Bulldogs have possessed the football for almost twice as long. They're passing it pretty effectively as well, and they'll throw it here on a slant route. It is dropped. Barnett had it for a moment, but couldn't hold on because Demario Johnson, the senior from Hammond, Indiana, was all over.
There's been a lot of contested catches today, and these DBs are getting that ball out right, and so that's what you love about a DB. He can catch the ball, but as long as you get that ball out before he makes it clear it's a catch, then that's an incompletion. That's a PBU for him. 2nd down and 10. Johnson with 6 PBUs, pass breakups on the season coming into the game today. Both teams are really committed to man. They really trust their corners and they trust their safety to get over the top. And it looks like Ferris State is calling a timeout. Tony Anise did not like the setup that he saw offensively against that Grand Valley defense. Impressed in a lot of different areas, but really thought Ferris State's offense would be able to move the ball. They've done it between the 20s. What's been the difference in trying to close the deal for the Bulldogs offense? I think that they've had a few explosive plays, right? And the closer you get to the goal line, it's a lot tighter and the defense is a lot more locked in. And because of the way this defense is coming to the game, they've given up some, but they've been a bend, not break defense, and they're putting that on full display today. Ferris State with 5 plays of 20 yards or more. Those are more than just chunk plays. Those are plays you, as a Michigan quarterback, love to see on your stat sheet. Absolutely. Explosive plays will help you win games. And when you can get a 5 explosive plays in just the first quarter, that's exactly what you want to see from your offense. Now, Ferris State has to finish. And here's another opportunity, 2nd and long, to make sure that they do just that, finish. Remember, no JR Campbell right now, the defending Harlan Hill Trophy winner, the best college football in Division II a year ago. 2nd down and 10. He's out because of an injury. Russell wants to throw, looking downfield, feeling the pressure, and down he goes.
Travis Russell brought down to the backfield for a sack.
Isaiah Nkansa finished him off. But Grand Valley's defense all over Travis Russell here.
And that was great coverage by the defense. Once again, they're playing man-to-man, and I expect to see some more crossing patterns, maybe pick plays from Ferris State, because they're really on these receivers like glue.
26 sacks for Grand Valley on the year coming in, and a whopping 9 tackles for loss per game. That is number 10 in the nation, and look at how good they are on 3rd down conversions. They don't give up much. Russell slinging it downfield and incomplete. The coverage on Tyler Minor handled by Brendan Brown, the linebacker. Boy, this Grand Valley trio of linebackers, some say, is among the best they've had in the last decade.
It's a great job by trying to catch up to the running back, who's probably maybe a little bit faster. Now, he was aided by a throw that maybe needs to be a little further out into the end zone, But that's a great job of chasing that play down.
Yeah, remember, you don't have to look back. That's not pass interference.
Absolutely.
That's not necessarily the case. Some coaches actually coach that. Get your hand up late. 39-yard field goal attempt. Sidewinds its way, and it's no good wide right. And the Grand Valley defense flexes its muscle yet again.
But, Shep, would you expect anything else? This game means a lot to both of these programs, and especially Grand Valley, who needs this game for sure.
Couple of field goal attempts early on for the Bulldogs. One was waved off because of delay of game. This one wide right to keep us scoreless in Big Rapids.
Oh, I don't know.
The Harlan Hill Trophy is given to the equivalent of the Heisman Trophy in the Division II level. Kurt Ames won it back in 2002 for Grand Valley State. Our own Fox Sports Detroit analyst Joy Bell won it in 2009 for Wayne State. Jason Vanderlaan, the quarterback here at Ferris State, won it in 14 and 15, and last year it was JR Campbell winning it here for the Bulldogs yet again, and this is what they are missing. They're missing the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, the GLIAC Player of the Year, a guy who led the nation in touchdowns with 49 and led all quarterbacks in rushing with almost 1,500 yards a year ago. Scoreless here in the second. And Grand Valley wants a home run ball into triple coverage, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Demario Johnson, or rather by Ferris State's Deion Stevenson. The senior from Sayersville, New Jersey, gives it back to his offense, and an ill-advised throw there from Cole Katopka.
Up to this point, Katopka has done a great job, but when it's not there, right, check it down or find something else, maybe take off running. He kind of forced this here with three guys, three red jerseys standing around his receiver, and that's not what you want, not in this game. You don't want to do that, right, when your coaches trust you to take a shot.
It's almost like he had too much time, felt like he had to deliver something. Here's an end around to Devontae Harrington, the senior from St. Petersburg, Florida, picks up a few yards for Ferris State on first down. Chased down by Isaiah Nkansa, who was an all-GLIAC performer a year ago. Second down and 7. And a reverse, and they're going to throw it too. Shaw used to play quarterback in high school and throws this one incomplete. Intended for Cy Barnett, but good coverage by Demario Johnson. Did not bite on the reverse possibility.
Yeah, that's a great job. And because he's a former quarterback, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he threw that ball away. Right? That's a great job because it's not there. You cannot turn the ball back over when you're given the opportunity to take a shot. He throws it out of bounds, and that's a great job by him. But great job by the Ferris State defense, making sure they stay at home and don't get embarrassed, essentially, with a big play.
Shaw, one of the better quarterbacks, dual-threat quarterbacks in high school at Farmington Hills. Harrison for John Harrington. My partner was the #1 rated dual-threat quarterback in the country when he came out of Inkster. It's third down and 7. Russell wants to throw off his back foot, no one home.
Russell's pass falls incomplete.
As a quarterback, that's a difficult thing to do. Falling back, and then you want to try to get your hips into the throw, and now it sails on him. That's a very difficult throw to make. Luckily, it didn't fall into the wrong hands.
And now Ferris State will punt it away.
43, Jackson Dieterle, 47, Quentin Beck are in punt formation for Ferris State.
Quentin Beck will do the punting for Ferris State. A rugby-style punt, and it's fumbled for a moment at the 20-yard line.
Football's loose.
Waiting for a signal, and Grand Valley recovered it.
Recovered by Grand Valley.
Jack Provencher bobbled it and then hopped on it.
That new style of punt is really dangerous, right? It's a low-line drive, but it's rolling at a trajectory, and it makes it very difficult. And he takes his eyes off it just for a half a second, and then he drops the ball. But luckily, he was able to hop on the ball.
And those are tough to handle, too.
Very tough, especially in the cold.
Let's see how Katopka handles turning it over, his last throw. They'll start it on the ground on this drive. Nice hole and a cutback there for Kane Vesey. The sophomore came into the game with over 500 yards rushing, leading this team on the ground despite missing a few games with a deep thigh bruise.
made the
Matt
tackle.
Mitchell told us he's still learning what it takes to be a #1 ball carrier. Need to take better care of your body because you're going to take the punishment when you're getting the ball as often as he does.
Without question. I think here, after turning it over, I think you get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly and let him see the ball go into one of his receiver's hands.
There's an inside give, and there's a nice hole, stumbling his way to the 30-yard line, close to a first down there. And a late flag. Bryce Young-Walls, the ball carrier for Grand Valley.
These are things that can't happen. You can't have the extracurriculars after the play. That's not football. The play's over. Kind of let it be. I know there's a lot of tempers flaring, rivalry, championship on the line, anchor and bone trophy. We kind of have to not do that.
Well, what did Matt Mitchell tell us earlier this week?
Defense number 34.
Sportsmanlike against Ferris State. Matt Mitchell said we've got to handle the TNTs, the stuff that takes no talent, between the ears. Make sure we stay away from phrases like this, and they did.
Yeah, John Higgins right here, just a little extra, and he might have been the guy that got caught after the play, right? Getting driven out of bounds and kind of gives a little extra there. I understand, and this is an aggressive sport. We have to stop when the whistle blows.
Move it all the way up to the 45-yard line of Grand Valley. 3 receivers set for Cole Katopka. He wants to throw on first down. Has all kinds of time. Now finds a lane for a moment, lowers the shoulder and gets to the 47-yard line. Dropped by John Higgins, the junior from Williams Bay, Wisconsin. Football week in Michigan is here. We've got high school, college, and NFL action all packed into one exciting Thanksgiving week. Tune in on your Fox family of networks. Football week in Michigan is presented by Kroger. And for more information, be sure to visit FWIM, that's FWIMinfo.com. A little bit later on at halftime, we'll announce the participants in the Xena Senior All-Star Game powered by Legacy Football. Grand Valley State keeps it on the ground. This is Kane Vesey. He gets up to midfield. Well, you love the sense of each defense trying to outdo the other. You feel the intensity, the rising up to the occasion of trying to match what the other defensive unit is doing so far this week.
Absolutely. I think Grand Valley's defense set the tone initially, and Ferris' defense has answered. This has been amazing to watch thus far, and I think we'll continue to see this defensive battle, but it's going to be maybe 1 or 2 plays on the offensive side that are going to change this game.
3rd down and 5 for the Lakers. They're 0 for 2 on 3rd downs. Play action, a pump fake, and the toss is a little too high. Intended for tight end Jake Slager. Boy, that was there too.
It was definitely there. We call this up and over, right? You need to have talented arm strength, right? You have the guy that can throw it through a brick wall, or you have the guy that can throw it 1,000,000 miles down the field. But can you get it up and over defender when your guy is open and it doesn't have you don't have a clear throwing lane, and he just wasn't able to do it on that play.
Cade Peterson is the backup quarterback for Grand Valley. He also plays a role as a punter once in a while. The redshirt freshman will play that role here, punting to Dion Earls. Earls has it hop into his lap and made a man miss. Dancing his way close to the 20-yard line. 10:45 left in the opening half. It is the defense that have set the stage, and they have commanded the stage because of what they've been able to do so far. Can the Grand Valley defense stand tall again? Stick around, we'll soon find out on Fox Sports Detroit. Game so far in this one, that's why we're scoreless.
Make sure they stop that play from happening. That's a great job on 4th down. And I think this is more, the kick was just missed, right? Not a whole bunch going on. It was a pretty clear kick, and he kind of just hooked it to the right. Now watch this ball. Spirals cut through the wind, right? And I think a lot of why that ball was so short was because it wasn't a perfect spiral. We see perfect spirals all the time, and that's what you need in a cold atmosphere, a windy game. You got to make sure those spirals are tight so it can cut through the wind, and then maybe you can get that ball up and over the 3 guys that threw it around.
Ferris State 192 total yards on the day to Grand Valley's 65, but what has hurt Tony Anese's team, 0 for 2 on 4th downs thus far. Russell so far, 5 for 13, 101 yards. Pressure comes, he unloads, almost intercepted. Instead, a whale of a grab shy of the 25-yard line by Xavier Wade.
That's Xavier's second combat catch, right? When I say combat catch, I mean catches with competition, right next to you. And he does a great job of grabbing that ball, right? And the concentration that it takes with this ball being tipped, that's a great job. And then he reaches back and grabs the ball. Great job to hold on. And then it's a second chance to catch it, right? That's like 2 or 3 catches in one catch.
3 catches on the day. A pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4. Nothing doing there. Good penetration by Grand Valley's defense up front again. 91, Dennis Johnson. We've called him more than anybody else so far here today for Grand Valley's front 4. Big fella, 6'2", 300, moving the pile the other way. Grand Valley likes their defensive tackles without question. That's Jake Lava on the defensive end, but Wallace Hall, James McBride, Dennis Johnson in that rotation have done a lot of damage. 3rd down and 6. Barnett's got it, but a sure wrap-up tackle by DeMario Johnson. What a tackle by the senior. Kliak, honorable mention a year ago, making a bid for being first team here today.
These defenders are doing really great. He's driving on the ball right. He's watching the quarterback. He drives on the ball instantaneously. Makes sure he runs right through the defender. So now it's 4th and a few yards, and you have to punt from here. So that's a great job of him, making sure he stops the play right where it starts.
Second time Quentin Beck is on for Ferris State to punt it away. Good kick. Inside the 20. Look at this punt. Down at the 1-yard line. 2nd time that he has pinned the Lakers offense, or 2nd time we've seen a team's offense pinned at the 1. We saw it earlier by Grand Valley's punter. Here we see it from Quentin Beck and Ferris State. His longest punt of the season. What a job.
Shep, did you imagine at any point, to this point in the game, it's going to be special teams and defense, special teams and defense. That's an amazing job of this punter, making sure that he puts the ball inside the window.
71 yards and down to the 1. Saw Kyle Kalea do that to Ferris State's offense earlier.
How about your best receiver running down Cy Barnett, making sure he pins that ball down?
Great effort. Long way to go for the Lakers. On the ground, not much happening there.
We saw Ferris State get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Let's see if Grand Valley can do the same.
No gain on that Tariq Reed carry.
Individual battles. Individual battles. One of the best linebackers on the team. Number 11, Avante Bell, making sure that he gets in there and makes the play and defeats his ball.
He and Austin Edwards have had really good games and really good seasons. A little bit of a seam to get out to the 5-6 yard line or so on that carry from Kane Vesey. A little bit of breathing room. You as a former quarterback, how much room do you need to feel comfortable when you're deep in your own territory?
I mean, you want to feel comfortable at any moment, but the more room you can get, the better you'll feel. But that's a great job. 6 yards, that's plenty of room to make sure you can drop back and make a throw comfortably. It's going to be a huge 3rd down.
3rd down and 5 now for Katopka. Double tight end set. Reed on the carry. Past the 10 to about the 12-yard line or so. Actually, Kane Vesey toting the rock there. Close to a 1st down. They're going to give it to him. It's a 1st down for the Lakers.
This is great patience by Kane Vesey, because you don't usually see on a 3rd and 5 in the shy of your end zone running the ball. It's usually a safe call that you might not think you'll get the 1st down. He sticks his foot in the ground and just gets enough, and that's why we love football. Literally inches. If he falls down one inch prior, he might not have the 1st down. Great effort by Kane Vesey.
Instead, it's 1st and 10 for Grand Valley. Off play action, pressure comes. Katopka taking a shot, and it is almost intercepted. Alex Thomas had it for a moment on a diving effort, couldn't haul it in.
I think Ferris State for sure saw Wadley's game last week, and they're prepared for those deep shots.
Number 6. Second down and 10.
But Katopka's got a good arm.
Very good. Just have to be a little safer with his throws, just a little safer with his throws, and I think he'll have something.
Second down and 10 now for the Lakers offense. Good hole up the middle for Tariq Reed, and a good run for a first down. Big gain on second and 10. He got 15.
27-yard line.
Lakers want to run with a little bit more tempo than what they're showing here. It's a first and 10 opportunity. Katopka wants to throw. Pressure comes. He goes up the middle, breaks one tackle, and then lunges to the 33. Alex Thomas brought him down. Thomas, a transfer from Cincinnati.
6'6", 235. You can see that he's a big guy, and it's going to be tough to bring him down with just one hit. This is a great job being decisive, right? I don't know if it's going to be there. Stick your foot in the ground, break a tackle, go get what you can.
Two-time academic all-conference selection. Here's a second down and 4 situation for the Lakers.
Man-to-man.
Sniffing it out, taking a shot on a post route, and it is caught inside the 25 by Brandon Wadley.
If Ferris State is going to be committed to playing man-to-man, you have to take shots like this. And I think that Grand Valley sees that. They have a guy that can do it. It's an amazing play. Comes out of the fake, gets his eyes up, safety's out of the way, take a shot and let your guy go get it.
A little bit better throw downfield to cut through the wind like you were talking about before.
A lot better throw, a spiral, so now your guy can judge it. It's a great job by Wadley.
Big time throw. Wadley last week, career numbers, a career best in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. 3 of his 4 touchdowns on the season coming last week in a 43-10 blowout of William Jewell. This one's not going to be a blowout. The defense has been really good, but the Lakers with their deepest penetration into Ferris State territory. A first and 10 for Grand Valley when we return. A tight one here in Big Rapids, and Grand Valley's used to it. Earlier this year, middle of September, against Delta State, Lakers scored a couple of touchdowns in the final 5 minutes and 19 seconds to win by 4. 2 weeks later, at Michigan Tech, the Lakers scored the go-ahead touchdown with 24 seconds left to beat Tech 21-16. October 12th against Saginaw Valley State, a goal line stand as time expired to preserve a 35-28 win over the Cardinals. And Grand Valley State 8-1 on the year, winners of 4 in a row coming in. Just picked up 45 on that heave from Katopka to Wadley at a first and 10, their deepest penetration of the game so far.
Shep, we talked about how it was, maybe some people might say, oh, they're not playing well, they're not performing well. But I thought, like I talked to you about, that maybe they're battle tested, right? Maybe that is the makings of a championship team, and maybe they are best suited to win this football game because of the way it's going.
And because their defense travels. You say that constantly, and it helps. That was a Katopka keeper, picked up about 3 or 4. This is where, as a quarterback, you want to stay in your rhythm, right? You just completed a big play. Do you want to throw the ball more?
I think we have to take some shots because these guys are playing man-to-man. They're not relenting on that effort. And I think that sometimes getting on these outsides, throwing it over these man-to-man coverages is really going to help the running game. And I think they need to do that here on 3rd down.
Kane Vesey unable to get the edge against Deion Stevenson. That brings up a 3rd down and long situation for Grand Valley here. 4:35 left to go in this half. I haven't seen JR Campbell for the Bulldogs offense, the defending Harlan Hill Trophy winner, out with an injury. Their offense has moved it pretty well, but it's been a defensive slugfest so far. Katopka on a 3rd and 7. And Grand Valley calls a timeout. Didn't like what they saw there. You're Cole Katopka. You've had that big completion over the top. It's 3rd down and 7. What do you want to hear your offensive coordinator call in your headset?
I want to give Wiley another shot, right? And I want to be, as the offensive coordinator, I want to trust that my quarterback is not going to put us in a bad position because we have 3 points, right? Now, you don't want to be safe, but you want to make sure that you put the ball where it needs to be so that your receiver either can make a play or the defense can't.
Grand Valley ranked 6th in the Super Region 3. Ferris State ranked number 1 in that same region. The 11th time these two teams have met, with both ranked in the top 25. Ferris State ranked number 2 in the country. Grand Valley State number 14. Let's see what they've drawn up on a 3rd down and 7 from the Ferris State 19. Katopka looks the other way and rolls the pocket. Eyes downfield, throws it back across the grain and incomplete. Boy, he had his running back, Arian Kane Vesey, open in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches say that's a dangerous throw. You don't want to make that throw, but the guy's standing there wide open. I think that if you want to show that you're talented and win this game, you have to make that throw.
Josh Gorball's only attempted 4 field goals on the year. He's made all 4, but it's not a strength of Grand Valley this season. This will be a 36-yard field goal attempt out of the hold of Dan Madden and the snap of Scott Mullenix.
We talked to Coach Mitchell, and he really trusts him to make these kicks now later in the year, and I think this will be good.
Placement is down, the kick is up, and Grand Valley has drawn first blood. Some big 3rd down conversions, some big plays by the Lakers offense. They get on the board first. A field goal conversion makes it 3-0 Lakers. So, as an offense, not necessarily exactly what you want, but you want points. They got it. And these two teams are used to these battles, no question. Last 2 meetings, very close. In 2017, Ferris State blocked an extra point with 2 minutes left. Reggie Bell, the quarterback, runs for a game-winning touchdown with under 30 seconds, and Ferris State won by just a point. Last year, facing a 4th and 2 and trailing by 3, about 3 minutes left in the game, Tony Anise calls for a halfback option pass, and JR Campbell catches a 31-yard touchdown to put Ferris State up, and they win it 35-31. Campbell, the only player in Ferris State history to run for a touchdown, catch for a touchdown, and pass for a touchdown in the same game, and he did it against Grand Valley a year ago.
I mean, big players make big plays in huge games, and this is a huge game for both these programs, and it's huge for the conference. It's huge for the country, and I think that one thing that we are missing is JR Campbell today.
Earl's doing a nice job of taking that return up close to the 25-yard line. 3:58 left to go in the half. And Ferris State's offense jogs onto the field under the guidance of Travis Russell. The senior stays in as the signal caller, wearing 17 in red.
Bulldogs are 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line.
I don't know if it's as much Ferris State not clicking offensively as it is Grand Valley's defense has just been very, very strong.
Yeah, I think they're doing a very good job. It's making it very tough because these corners are playing so good. I think that the Ferris is they're really used to getting a chance to make these throws, and they're not being able to do it with these cornerbacks. And of course, you can see they're tackling as well.
Barnett on the jet sweep to get close to the 30-yard line. Just trying to loosen Grand Valley's defense up a little bit. Let's see what kind of tempo Ferris State plays with 3:40 left in the half.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 from the 29.
They'll keep it on the ground, and that's a 1st down run past the 35 to the 36-yard line. Jeremy Burrell's first carry of the day.
I think that 1st down allows you to take a shot here, especially with this safety moving out this is a one-on-one at the top of the screen.
Instead, it's on the ground. Burrell got the edge And up to the 41-yard line and out of bounds with 3:11 to go in the half.
Forced out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Stay with us at the half because we'll announce the rosters of the Zenith Senior All-Star Game powered by Legacy Football.
After playing almost 2 quarters, you got to see that the conditioning for Grand Valley can stay at a high level just to make sure that on this drive they don't give up something so they can go into half 3-0.
2nd down and 6 for Travis Russell and the Bulldogs offense. Wants to throw for it. Downfield, the middle of the field. It's a shot, and he's got him inside the 25-yard line. That was a dime to Xavier Wade. Check it, it's Javon Shaw.
It's a phenomenal throw. A great spiral that cuts through the wind. That's a great throw by a quarterback who's trying to make his stamp on this rivalry.
Shaw with his 2nd catch of the afternoon sets up a 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. A jet sweep to Shaw, who stiff arms his way out of bounds. A no gainer. Good pursuit by Tyler Bradfield.
Shaw dropped the ball late there. It falls harmlessly out of bounds, but he needs to protect the ball in this scenario.
Some would argue that Bradfield is Grand Valley State's best defensive player, the outside linebacker, a junior from Rockford, Michigan, not too far here from Big Rapids. Played for Ralph Munger and the Rockford Rams.
What does it say about the high school coaches in the state of Michigan to have so many high school football players from the state of Michigan in this game?
On the ground, dancing his way, bouncing is Burrell inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. Under 2 minutes left in the half.
Tackle for Grand Valley, number 3. Pick up a 6, making it 3rd down and 5 from the 19.
Great state of Michigan, well represented here. Tony Anise and the Bulldogs have 60 from the state. Grand Valley State has 45. Ferris State 2 for 7 on 3rd downs. 3rd down and 5 here for Ferris State.
Ferris State's best receiver at the top of the screen.
Shaw going in motion there. Back shoulder throw incomplete, intended for Wade, and we got a late flag on the play. Jalen Moore on the coverage.
At practice, we saw Ferris State work on that back shoulder tirelessly, and he has to get it just a little higher. But that's a great job of that receiver fighting back to the ball so he can draw the pass interference. Gotcha.
It's pretty good chicken fighting down.
Jalen Moore got a little handsy there. Sometimes you see them pick that flag up and wave it because they're both kind of fighting for the ball, but you can't get mad at that call either way.
1st and 10 for Ferris State. And a couple guys moved. Barnett was going in motion, was looking at the sideline at the same time. Evan Cummins is in at the quarterback spot. Looked like there was some confusion on the part of the Bulldogs offense. I guess if you're going to make a mistake, 1st down is the time to make it, right? You got a chance to make up for it.
Absolutely.
So 1st and 15 now for Ferris State.
Grand Valley's doing a great job of matching at the top. But if they were to ever not match, you're going to throw that ball outside.
Burrell, the lone setback. A fumble, and it's scooped up. The Lakers have it. It's Isaiah Nkansa. He's at the 40. Does he have enough in the tank to get there? Let's see. He does. And Grand Valley off the turnover scores. We've mentioned number 3 in blue all day long because he's been a force, and now he gets his team a 9-point lead with that fumble return for a touchdown.
That was the last thing that you want to see happen, right? There are a number of different things that could have happened, but a return touchdown on a fumble, that's something that you didn't want to see. And we spoke earlier about those high snaps, right, not being able to handle them right away, and now it's really bitten Ferris State.
The extra point is no good. But the defense, we talked about how they've been shining all day long. Not only have they prevented scoring, but they've taken care of some scoring here.
Travis Russell takes his eyes off it just for a second, but once again, that high snap is making it very difficult for him to make a decision in the passing or running game, as you can see. This is a great job running this ball back and making sure you have just enough in the tank. That monkey jumps on the back and it's very difficult to finish. That's a great job of finishing.
A 79-yard fumble return for a touchdown for Isaiah Nkansa. And the all-GLIAC performer from a year ago has given his team a 9-0 lead with under a minute to go in the half. Boy, you saw Ferris State starting to move the ball, picking up some big chunk plays, and then suddenly that one. How much does it hurt this offense?
I think it does a ton, right? Especially going into the half. You're thinking maybe we're going to get points, right? And then maybe we're going to get 3. And you're seeing JR Campbell warming up here. Maybe he can throw the cape on and come out and help his team because they're kind of struggling right now to finish.
Short kickoff. And a nice return into Grand Valley State territory. A flag on the play. Liam Daly returned it. And this is exactly what you think when you think Grand Valley and Ferris State. You think a lot of chippiness, a little extracurricular, some pushing and shoving, and some jawing at one another. And that's what you're getting right here. We've seen Campbell warm up a couple of times for the Bulldogs, but it's going to be Travis Russell to lead the way on this final drive. Here's the rankings right here. Ferris State wins today, and they're guaranteed at least to host one, we think at least 2 games in the playoffs. Grand Valley State would need some help if they come up short today. Doesn't mean that they're out, but they're going to need some help.
15-yard penalty from the end of the run. We first down Ferris State. That is number 23's first. Sportsmanlike foul of the game.
That's a big penalty against Grand Valley at a very inopportune time. Here's what Ferris State would be able to accomplish if Tony Anise and company finish undefeated in the regular season. That number 1 seed in the Super Region is huge, and that first round bye in the playoffs.
Nothing is promising. If you're Ferris State, you want to continue to control your own destiny. You can do that by finishing this game with a W here.
Ferris State's won 27 straight regular season games in a row. 1st and 10, down 9. Russell wants to throw, slings it out to his tailback. And Tyler Minor past the 25 to the 24. Actually, Marvin Campbell. Marvin Campbell back in there. He was in on the first couple of drives. First time we've seen him since early in the first. A nice gain, a pickup of about 7. 2nd down and 3. All the way to the 20 is Dion Earls. That's his 6th carry of the season. That's a first down run.
I think we need to target the sideline. Ferris needs to target the sideline just a little more, just so we can get out of bounds and stop the clock.
At the 20-yard line of the Lakers.
So 1 timeout remaining now for Ferris State. If the Lakers win, they'll share the GLIAC lead going into the final home game against Wayne State, final game of the year. It'd also get them back on the right side of the ledger in the series with Ferris State and move up in the region too. They want that first game in Allendale. runs the jet motion to Dion Earls.
I think Ferris has to have a little bit more situational awareness. Marvin Campbell here has to get out of bounds, right? He's got enough, and I understand he's fighting for more yardage. He has to make sure that he gets out of bounds so he can stop the clock, and maybe Ferris can save some of those timeouts that are very valuable right now, down 9-0.
They've got one left with 20 seconds remaining. Vital that the Bulldogs get some points before the half. Russell will throw. All kinds of time. He wants the end zone, and it is caught! What a grab in the corner of the end zone by Xavier Wade!
Shep, what did I call those? Combat catches. He is doing an amazing job today, making sure that he makes all of those plays, and if not, draw pass interference. Great job by Xavier Wade, going up top and really going to get the football. They've gone to the well on the back shoulder a number of times. Now, let's get the ball downfield, go up, climb the ladder, take a hit, make sure that you finish the play. And that's how Ferris State needs to finish if they want to win this football game.
And let their big-time playmakers make a play. That's exactly what they did with Wade at 6'3", $195.
We've been clamoring for him to take a shot with this man-to-man defense, and they did just that.
Russell fired up after his 4th touchdown pass of the season. And the Bulldogs, with the extra point, crawl to within 2. What a drive. Wade has had himself a heck of a day so far. Just 3 plays and 32 yards in 31 seconds. And Ferris State takes advantage of the Grand Valley mistake off that kickoff. Special feature coming up at halftime, the redemption of the Harlan Hill Trophy winner a year ago, JR Campbell. And as we mentioned before, the exciting news of the rosters being announced in the Zenith Senior All-Star Game. That's coming up at the half here from Big Rapids right here on Fox Sports Detroit. Boy, what a scene it was earlier today. You see some of the old-timers there with their letter jackets and how appreciative they are of where Ferris State has come with their football program and the pride that they have. Huge answer for the Bulldogs just before the break. Grand Valley on the return. And a good one, too. Past the 40 to the 45-yard line.
Brandon Wadley on the return.
Just 10 seconds remain. Brandon Wadley with a nice return. All right, what do you do here? You take a shot, and you've got a couple of timeouts. You can't carry him over into the second half. What are you going to do here with 9 or 10 seconds left?
For me, I take a knee just because Katopka's turned the ball over, right, and has some throws in danger. And you don't want to give him one more interception on the stat sheet so he goes in thinking he's playing a lot worse than he is. I say take a knee, going to halftime.
That's what they're going to do right on cue. So the Lakers, thanks to a defensive touchdown, had a 9-0 lead before Ferris State answered. Had a little help there, but letting playmakers make plays is how it ends for the Bulldogs in that first half. Bulldogs offense with more yards without a doubt. Grand Valley's defense perhaps the most impressive unit of the first half. Not only did they do a nice job in limiting Ferris State on the board, but they scored themselves. It's 9-7 Lakers at the break. Football Week in Michigan, sponsored by Kroger here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Here we go, Kev.
Welcome back to Big Rapids. The Lakers are up 9-7 at half. Ferris State being led by senior quarterback Travis Russell, who's getting the start today for the injured preseason All-American and reigning Harlan Hill winner JR Campbell. And while it's disappointing not seeing Campbell on the field in the biggest game of the season, it doesn't take away from the transgressions he's faced off the field and his troubles past. Now, it does give him a story, though. Our own Mickey York has more.
JR Campbell and the technicians. Campbell to throw on a slant route, caught, touchdown! Jackson.
As a freshman and sophomore quarterback, JR Campbell led Detroit Cass Tech to back-to-back Division I Michigan high school state football titles in 2011 and 2012. He seemingly had it all.
He came here, they called him the touchdown kid because he kept throwing a lot of touchdowns. And then the starting quarterback got hurt in the first game, and he came out there and took the team down and scored a couple touchdowns with him. He's like, everybody kept saying, that's the future, that's the future.
Before he was 16, he was a local celebrity. He was drawing interest from the likes of Alabama and Notre Dame. By his junior season, he committed to Michigan State. And then it all came crashing down.
JR Campbell is back in court to find out if he will face trial on new assault charges.
Grabbing his ex-girlfriend and assaulting her in a stairwell.
Facing serious trouble that might put him back behind bars.
I know I made some mistakes for sure. I know I did some things that I shouldn't have for sure. But my intentions looking back, I know for sure that I always been a good person. I always had a good heart. It was just, it was a battle that I was going through.
Campbell would be sent to Wayne County Jail for 7 months. He was done at Cass Tech, and the Michigan State scholarship was gone. But those were the least of his troubles.
I was lost. I was depressed. You know, I just needed a hug. I needed a friend. I needed some love, and I didn't know how to reach out and go get that. I didn't tell my mom that I got molested or raped, or whatever you want to call it, until I was in high school, you know, and it happened under her roof when I was 5, 6 years old, little kid, you know what I'm saying? And that situation, I felt like, was really like something that impacted me in a big way because I never talked about it to nobody. Me also not having a home to go to once upon a time, you know, my pops, my dad being incarcerated for 7 years, during the time that I needed him. You know, it was a lot, man. It was just a lot that, I don't know, I just felt like on that field in high school, everybody was looking at me to be this quarterback, and everybody was looking at me to be like this superhero, when the whole time I was a human, and I was a human that was hurting.
I just felt I had to do something. I couldn't, I didn't know him, I didn't know anything about the incident. And once I got involved and got to know him a little bit, it was obvious all he was missing was, you know, a strong male in his life.
Dave Bing, the NBA Hall of Famer and former mayor of Detroit, now runs the Bing Youth Initiative, a mentoring program designed to help troubled young men of color. He visited JR in jail, gave him that hug he needed, and developed a plan.
We had to let him know that even though you made that mistake, you can come back and get your life together. And we got to start with education. So we got to get you into a situation where you can get back to football. You need to be out of Detroit.
Campbell would end up at Garden City Community College in Kansas. While there, he earned his associate's degree and led the Broncbusters to a junior college national championship. But his past continued to interfere with his future.
I got a couple phone calls. And then, like 4 days later, they say, we talked to our president. He's seen, you know, what you did in high school or whatever, and we can't do it. We can't rock with you.
Tony Anise at Division II Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan, about 3 hours northwest of Detroit, knew Campbell's story and recognized someone that needed a second chance.
Too often in society, we just, you know, we label a guy or we deem him, oh, well, he's not worthy of this. Worthy of what, you know? Everybody's worthy of love. Everybody's worthy of support. Everybody's worthy of a chance to, you know, make good of a circumstance, and he's making good of that circumstance.
As a junior, JR led Ferris State to the Division II National Championship game and won the Harlan Hill Trophy, Division II's equivalent of the Heisman. He's triumphed on the field, and through years of therapy and support, transformed off of it.
I texted JR yesterday and told him I was so proud of him because he's came such a long way. When JR was first becoming like the household name in Detroit, Michigan, he didn't understand that he was JR Campbell. He just wanted to be a kid.
He succeeded, and it's a great story of redemption, I think. And that's a story that needs to be told to a lot of these young boys that are out here.
He's going through trials and tribulations so he can have something that everybody can understand and make a difference. And so as he make that difference in his life, he's going to touch someone and make a difference in their life. And so, but as long as he finish, as long as he stay out the darkness, as long as he keep walking in the light, as long as he keep believing like he always have, he's going to do a great job.
There's already a turnaround in my eyes, and I matured a lot. I learned a lot. I'm not a new person, but like I said, I learned. I built myself into something, and I'm proud of it for sure. But yeah, I am trying to finish what I started.
J-Roo is going to graduate in December. He and his girlfriend are expecting a baby in May and plan to get married. He's hoping to give the NFL a shot. And as Wilcher desires, he's going to finish, with the hope his story will be something different than you remember.
For any of the people that may have known you then and saw what happened and thought, hey, once a bad apple, always a bad apple, and if they could see you now, what is the message to those people?
You can rub a lion. I saw people rub lions before. You know, I might have got a big heart, and I might show it a lot. But you know, you can rub a lion, you can get along with it. Well, I'm just keep that statement right there. You can rub a lion. Yeah, I like that.
Wow, what an incredible story. We appreciate J-Roo sharing it with us. When we come back, we'll be announcing the roster for the Zenith Senior All-Star Game powered by Legacy. So I'm telling you, you want to stick around. We'll be right back.
It's been like a sumo wrestling match between Grand Valley and Ferris State. We thought it'd be a little bit higher scoring. Instead, it's 9-7 Lakers at the break. We invite you to join us on Sunday, December 1st at noon for an exciting event. It's the Zenith Senior All-Star Game powered by Legacy Football. Some of the finest high school seniors in the state of Michigan will gather in Brighton at the Legacy Sports Complex and showcase their skills for one final time as high schoolers. We're going to have all the action for you live right here on Fox Sports Detroit. The man who sets that up, he and his staff work extremely hard. The National Director of Football for Legacy, Justin Sasante. This is the third year that you will have done this. How has it evolved, and what's been the most challenging thing for you?
Yeah, it's been an amazing platform for underrated football players across the state of Michigan to get an exposure and a platform that really can help them at the next level. Going from 100+ to 500+ nominations and getting through that with our All-Star Committee has been a tremendous task, but what great football players we have to showcase in the state of Michigan.
You were a film hog at Grand Valley when you played there. That means you had to be a film hog to pick out these guys,
sir.
But there's a lot of talent on these rosters with two outstanding coaches. We'll get to that here in a moment. First, let's take a look at Team Zenith. Here is the roster selection for their backfield. Peyton Smith, the quarterback out of Traverse City Central, Tyler Amos, Logan Van Eckenvoort out of Holt, Michael Mathias out of Plymouth, but Raekwon Beal is the real deal. Why, Justin?
Oh, Raekwon Beal, just a dynamic athlete, dual threat quarterback, can hurt you with a big arm. Once he gets outside the pocket, can hurt you with his legs. He's being recruited by MAC schools, 1AA, and he's just a tremendous athlete that's really going to showcase his skills in a game like this on December 1st.
Yeah, looks a lot like my partner Devin Gardner, who was the #1 dual threat quarterback coming out of Inkster. This kid can get it done, and he's going to have some talent to throw to. 7 different wide receivers from which he can choose when he plays at your facility on that Sunday. It's going to be an awful lot of fun. Let's take a look at some of the skill set players as we continue to look at Team Zenith. Some really good wide receivers from throughout the state, including Jalen Johnson of Centerline, Alec Ward from Bloomfield Hills High School, Montario Henry from Grand Blanc, Colin Kelly, Aiden Adams, Roy Wimper, and tell us a little bit about DeVell Washington from Bay City Central and what stands out about him.
Arguably the best athlete in this game. We have opened it up to some Division I players this year. He has a Power 5 offer and committed to West Virginia, and this kid can do it all. He's an electrifying player, all Saginaw Valley League, one of the best athletes, great out of his routes, goes up and gets it, and he's gonna put on a show.
Can't get it done without the big horses up front as we continue to look at what Washington does and how good he is and why he's going to be playing at West Virginia. This is a difficult thing. Anytime you talk about all-star games, you immediately gravitate toward those quote-unquote skill positions. But the big guys, how did you evaluate them?
really power-based, hip-level, punch, how aggressive they were. Unbelievable core of linemen here to really protect these talented quarterbacks we have in this game.
Austin Shirley's a tight end out of Utica. We throw him in with the linemen. Jeremiah Mansfield from Caledonia, Corbin Daly, Patrick Kasher, Peyton Platt, Kyle Campbell, Logan Griffiths, and Jakari Liston from Grand Blanc. What makes him such an elite lineman?
Comes from an athletic line of football players. His brother played at Rutgers. He's on the leadership committee, so he's going to be the core of that offensive line that's protecting these talented quarterbacks. And he's a dynamic player with size, strength, and a punch with his hands. It's really going to be a force inside.
All right, we're going to get to the defense for Team Zenith in a moment, but first we want to look at the offense for Team Legacy. And wait till you see who they're coached by as we look at the quarterbacks and the running backs for Team Legacy. Who jumps out at you here? Because you got a couple of guys, including Jacob Kilbert from Livonia Franklin, the lefty, and Theo Ellis Jr. from Port Huron Northern, the running back. That's a tough 1-2 combo, isn't it?
Jake Kilbert's had a fantastic career. 4-year starter on varsity. His dad is the head coach over there at Franklin. He competed at the national level of the Legacy Adidas Elite Team down at the Adidas National Champion. And he's just got a great arm, very smart. So in a short time to prepare for this game, he's going to lead an offense and put up some points.
Should have an opportunity to showcase that passing skill, but as you mentioned, a very good runner as well. How about Ellis Jr.? What does he bring to the table?
Arguably the best film that we watched. He's got a great burst, one cut up the field. He can take it every time he touches the ball. He doesn't go down on the first tackle. And I am really excited to watch this young man. I think definitely underrated. He's been recruited by Rice, Butler, Yale, Valpo, and a host and plethora of Division II GLIAC teams.
All right, they have a couple more wide receivers than Team Zenith, and that shouldn't surprise anybody considering who their coach is, and we'll get to that in a moment. But let's look at these wide receivers and who stands out to you, Justin.
Yes, sir. There's a bunch of good ones. Ruben Salinas, he came up from Texas. A great football player. Baron Askins is coming up from Philly, and Ernest Sanders is a big-time recruit, I believe, going to Kentucky. So they have a really good squad there, and they're going to be very hard to defend in this game December 1st.
All right, you mentioned guys from out of state. Why did you go open it up to them?
Yeah, we had probably 60, 70 plus, and we want to give them an opportunity as well. There's kids that are underrated, under-recruited across the Midwest, and we wanted to open that up. We have a big network at Legacy Football and want to make sure that we open that up to kids just to help them and impact them.
Good for you. They're going to enjoy the snow here in Michigan. Let's look at their linemen up front for Team Legacy, and there's some big boys and guys who have really done it all season long, including Darian Parker and Caleb Parker, no relation, Elmer Jakovovich, and we got Owen Snively up front, Griffin Thompson, Joey Fakori, and Ibrahim Ahmad. But tell me a little bit about Ali Baez from Dearborn Fordson. As a center, he's one of those guys you want to watch out for.
Another core guy that's going to be protecting some very talented skill sets. Ali Baez was an all-tournament selection at the Super Lineman Challenge in California with the Legacy travel team this past year, recruited by Lawrence Tech, Madonna, a host of GLIAC schools. He's a physically strong player, a scrappy player, and really is going to be a force to lead this offensive line for this team in the All-Star game.
These guys are all very good. They're going to get even better because of who their coaches are. Those two coaches are with Brooke Fletcher downstairs, and I know they're excited about looking at the roster and what the skill set brings on that Sunday, Brooke.
Yeah, Matt, they are excited. Joy did tell me, he's like, you got to stand in the middle because these guys are rivals now. Friends off the field, but now they're rivals. All right. Herman's mean mugging him now. You don't even know.
This is what Drake meant when he said your idols become your rivals.
Uh-oh. All right, well, we'll get to the smack talking later, guys, but let's talk about this offense. Joy, you got your offense here. What do you think?
I think we're going to pound it. I think we're going to play a little bit of old school football. We're here in Michigan. The weather's cold, even though we're playing outside. I mean, even though we're playing inside, we're going to pound it.
All right, Herman, you have your offense now. What do you think?
Well, you can tell by the inexperience that this coach over here has. So we got the linemen up front. We got some big bodies. We also have a deep position with our wide receiver core. Good arms on our quarterbacks. We're going to air it out a little bit, but we aren't going to forget about our running backs. We want to make sure they get a part of our passing attack.
All right, well, we heard them talking about their offense. Now let's talk defense, Matt.
Yeah, we expect a high-scoring game from both those gentlemen, and Herman Moore has 9 wide receivers to choose from. Joique Bell loves his running backs, and there's a good reason to it. But you got to play both sides of the football, right? Here's Joique Bell's defensive back. It's Team Zenith. Brett Marks, Dylan Erskine from Clarkston. I saw Caden Beck of Lake Orion in person. Really solid player. Ethan Flores from Fruitport. Montez Archer Jr. from King. Gregory Lattiser, Jonathan Tillman, and Zayden Mitchell. But I'll tell you what, this Kazon Woods from Saginaw Heritage, I've heard a lot about him, Justin. Why?
Just a very dynamic player. Great cover skills, covers ground quickly, has ball skills of a wide receiver, and he's out of Saginaw Heritage, represents very well, versatile athlete, also being recruited by a host of Division II, Division III, and NAIA schools. Very excited to see what he can do in man coverage against some of these bigger receivers, but I think he's got a lot of heart and he's going to do very well.
One of the positions that has really changed and evolved in high school is the linebacker spot. Guys have to be able to run, and you've got a really good, deep linebacking core here for Team Zenith. You're looking at 8 guys here, led by Jameer Jackson from Redford Union, Colin Dunn and Daniel Wynn, Deshaun Prather, Daniel Reed, and Terrence Moore from Wyoming Godwin Heights has really put some impressive stuff on tape.
Yeah, actually the cousin of Draymond Green, so he has some athleticism in the family, obviously, and he can walk up or he can come on back and play a true outside linebacker spot. So he's going to be somebody that's versatile into rushing the passer, dropping in coverage, and just the force when he comes up, he thumps. Great hitter and closes well in space, makes big plays, as you see.
Excited to watch him. He'll play just behind a front 4, sometimes a front 3, but it's 7 deep for this defensive line. And when you look at this defensive line, note this: Nikola Ampevsky is from West Toronto Prep. So going up to our friends up north is what this football game is all about. Anthony Brown from East Kentwood, Alex Hunt, Devontae Murray, James Mackey, and Demir Tagani. Grant Parker from Ravenna. He's an intriguing prospect. What does he bring to the table?
Oh, man, what a big, long athlete, and obviously plays for a smaller school, but he's been a 4-year letter winner in football, basketball, and track, 4-year captain in track, 3-year in football, recruited by Division I, Division II schools. Big athletic player from a small school, great motor, great skill set, and really looking forward to what he can do against some of these bigger school linemen.
All right, that's Team Zenith. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball for Team Legacy, and we'll start with the safety positions. 5 safeties and 4 corners so far for Team Legacy. And just a reminder to folks, if you see some of these teams still alive, those guys, if they're still playing in the state championship, most likely not able to play in this Legacy All-Star game. However, you do have a very deep roster that allows you to fill in for some of these guys.
Yeah, a lot of alternates. We didn't want to stack too many of the positions too deep in order to make sure that we get a lot of reps. But yes, we always anticipate some of these schools are going to go to the state championship. Maybe an injury unfortunately happens here or there.
In that group, Easton St. Clair from Novi Catholic Central kind of jumps off the page.
Oh, yeah, being recruited Division II, Division III schools, but a great nose for a ball, sound tackler, a savvy football player, and he will be a great leader in this game, which you need to really pick up a lot of the schemes very quickly and make sure that everybody's on the same page so you can stop the scoring runs.
You have 6 linebackers on this Team Legacy squad. You look at these linebackers, and they're mirror images of what we see on the other team. It's guys who can cover and guys who can fill holes. Peyton Bruce from Holt, Mohamed Kamara from Kalamazoo Central, Jerome Nichols from Detroit Renaissance, not too far from there in Romulus, Jaron Johnson, Diego Gomez from Utica, and Ali Hussein from Dearborn. You got to like everything that those guys bring to the table.
Oh, Mohamed Kamara is a versatile athlete. He is going to make some plays. He's going to have a very good all-star game.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And then we always appreciate the big guys, the guys who can get after the quarterback, right? The guys who have the bad breath but stick their hand in the dirt and get all bloody and nasty. Here's the defensive lineman for Team Legacy. You look at Christian Teichner from Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Javon Jackson from Saginaw Arthur Hill. In Grand Blanc, well represented by Javon Basie, Daniel Golding from Chelsea, Demarius Mills from Saginaw Arthur Hill, Jake Swerple from Livonia Franklin, the second Patriot in this Legacy All-Star game, and then Cameron Corso from Madison Heights, Madison. This guy's a thrilling prospect.
Oh, no doubt about it. Jake Swerple, great wrestler, but Cameron Corso, I think a very underrated player. Haven't got a whole lot of recruiting attention, and he can stop the run. He also can pass rush, and to find a dynamic defensive line that can cause problems in the interior there is going to make for an interesting game to put some stress on those athletic quarterbacks.
Over 500 applicants, only 80 make it. They should be very proud. Yes. You and your group should be very proud for another nice job. We can't wait to bring it to you here on Fox Sports Detroit. Sir. Down to Brooke Fletcher with the coaches again. Brooke?
All right, guys, you have seen now the complete roster of your teams. Herman, I'll start with you. What are you looking forward to most about coaching these guys?
Well, I'm looking forward to just the fact that they're going to bring a lot of energy. This is an opportunity for them to showcase what they're doing in their athletic ability one more time. But I'm excited about this defense. We got some good guys up front, but the secondary is deep. We also have pretty good linebacker unit, so we'll be able to put some pressure and commit some to Jordan Bell's running attack.
Uh-oh. You want to respond?
So once again, I think it's a great opportunity for the kids to come out and get some more film, to get noticed a little bit more. And going forward, I think we should. Hold on 1 second. Okay, it's not going to be any competition with what they're telling me in my ear. Okay. And so I think with our defensive line, as you can see, I think we're going to bring a lot of pressure, and I want to see how this quarterback is going to respond. And when you have pressure like that on the quarterback without having to bring a linebacker, it's going to
flag. Look at that, he's already 30 seconds. You only got 30
hey,
seconds.
do you want me to leave and you guys can just settle this right now? I'm kidding.
I already got a flag.
So what you're saying, Joy, is you have the better team.
I definitely have the better team. There's no doubt, and we have a secret weapon. And we have a secret weapon coming.
Secret weapon.
Yeah.
All right.
We're taking the Barry Sanders approach. I'm not going to say anything. We'll just do it on the field. We'll take it from there.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, Matt. We'll see who the winner's going to be. All right. I'll toss it back
Brooke,
to you,
we're going
Matt.
to be part of that.
I know.
Yeah,
I got to break this up.
to
Something's about to go down here on the sidelines. I'm going to have to step in. I don't know how much work I can do.
You forgot to wear your black and white shirt.
Know,
you need
guys.
to wear the zebra shirt there, Brooke. Yeah, you're right. You need to be that referee, but we look forward to bringing it to you. Brooke was there with us last year. We'll do it again this season, and we look forward to it. You will be at that game with me, and I know you look forward to it. Some of those guys hoping to play either here at Grand Valley or Ferris State, being part of this exciting rivalry. And that first half, quite honestly, in my opinion, didn't go the way I thought it would. What surprised you most?
Yeah, I mean, we thought we'd see some offensive fireworks, but we saw some defensive fireworks. A lot of great defense out there. It was really good to see Ferris as well as Grand Valley, right? We knew Grand Valley had that amazing defense, but Ferris's defenses really showed up. And then towards the end of the half, we saw some real fireworks from Ferris's defense and Grand Valley's defense. As you're looking here, a long touchdown, and so many times that guy usually doesn't have enough gas. That's the way to finish right there.
Yeah, Isaiah Nkanso with a 79-yard fumble recovery, and then Xavier Wade from Travis Russell, a 20-yard touchdown pass. That capped off a 3-play, 32-yard drive in just 31 seconds to get the Bulldogs on the board and get them to within 2. When you look at this first half stats, it is lopsided, one-sided for Ferris State's offense, especially the first downs. The turnovers always important, and the Bulldogs able to take advantage so far through the air with 175 of their 285 yards coming via the pass. Let's see how this second half rolls on here from Big Rapids. It'll be Grand Valley getting the football first. And we are underway with this second half, and that kickoff sails through the end zone.
Needed his kick out of the end zone for a touchback.
Grand Valley's offense not responsible for the lone touchdown. That came via the fumble recovery, as you saw, a 79-yard fumble recovery for a score. That gave Grand Valley the 9-0 lead, and now 9-7 as Cole Katopka goes to work. That is on 25. 8-1 on the season for the Lakers. And they'll start it on the ground. And a nice cutback by Kane Vesey and a big-time pickup down to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we had zero coverage here, Shep. And when you have zero coverage and that running back gets in the line, there's next to nobody in the back to stop him. And so that I don't know how much you'll see of that from Ferris, but that's a great job of capitalizing on it by Grand Valley.
Kane Vesey led Grand Valley in that first half in yards gained on the ground with 37, a big pickup here. And he'll get the call again. This time he runs into a roadblock. Avante Bell and Sam Highbore, the linebackers, were there to sniff it out.
To start the second half, we have 2 snaps of 0 right away. And when I say 0, I mean 0 with man-to-man across the board with no safety back for help. So it's feast or famine right here, Shep. If you stop him right there, it's good. Great job, 0, and now you can move on. If you don't, he's going to be gone.
Second down and 9. Off play action. Katopka going up top. Big arm, and that ball is knocked away, and good coverage downfield by Alex Thomas. He was all over the intended receiver, Brandon Watley.
Alex Thomas.
Alex Thomas has kind of a rough first half, and it kind of took some shots at him, and he kind of wasn't able to stop it. But as you can see here, he does a great job of finding the ball. And once again, that spiral is very important to cut through the wind on a day like this, and it's once again not a spiral, and it gives him a chance to make a play on the ball. Great job of seeing it high, going and get it with his offhand, with his other hand protecting the offensive receiver.
Now 3rd down and long, another slip screen run. This one was successful in the first half, not so much here. David Anderson, the redshirt freshman from Columbus, Ohio, on the receiving end, but Grand Valley is going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, Shep, I think it's a great decision to punt it away, right? You start the second half, you've done well throughout the game, you're actually winning the football game. You've proven that this game means a lot to you by going forward on 4th down, not being successful, but you've made sure that they know that you will do it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a fake here.
And confidence in your defense too, right? I mean, you realize how well your defense has played here today and all season long. So there's something to be said for that. Deion Earls is back deep to return it. There's the fake you were talking about, and they got it. Oh, Devin Gardner, you were dead on right there. The snap went right to Tyler Bradfield, and he got it for Grand Valley. What a call.
It goes right to the up back. He takes it on. It's the outside zone. Now that's undisciplined by Ferris State, trying to get back in it and assuming that it's going to be a punt. They have to know that Coach Mitchell loves to do these things similar to their coach, and they need to be ready for it, and they weren't on that play.
They snapped it to a linebacker who got the 1st down, moving the chains and into Ferris State territory. They keep it on the ground. The pile moves forward. Tariq Reed with a solid run on 1st down. Reed out of Davison High School, a 4-time letter winner, a USA Today All-Michigan team selection. And that's Tyler Bradfield right there. He ran right out of his shoe to get that 1st down. 2nd down and 5 for the Lakers. That's a jet motion, a flag on the play. Not much there for Jack Preventure.
Legal formation, more than 4 in the backfield, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's one of those things that Matt Mitchell is really upset about throughout the season when it happens. Doesn't happen very often. They don't get flagged a lot, but the TNTs, the things that really hurt you are the mindless penalties there. Too many men in the backfield. Flea flicker. Downfield, wide open is a man right there at the 20-yard line. What a throw, and Bryce Young-Walls made a great adjustment in flight to haul it in and get inside the red zone.
In Division II, Shep, there's no review, so these referees are going to have to talk it out because that ball came out late. Great job by Kataka making sure that he doesn't force anything. He finds the open guy. Now, watch here. The ball falls out a little late, and so now it's going to be up to the referees to figure it out, and I think they've kind of figured it out here.
Oh, they called it incomplete.
So in Division II, when you get to the championship, you get replay. Right now, on this game,
right,
it doesn't have replay, so it's on the referees to make sure that they get the call correct. And I think they might have gotten that one correct, Shep.
Matt Mitchell's upset. He wants a better explanation. Why wasn't this complete?
Right, as you can see, he catches it, and he hasn't fully controlled it. He's still bobbling it, and it's moving around, and it comes out.
Wow. I got to tell you, I mean, Devin, you and me, we watch a ton of football.
Yeah.
To me, that's a football catch. But
without question, but the way they call catches these days, it makes it very difficult to judge. And I think that based on the rules and how they judge it now, that's definitely got to be not a catch.
Would have been a gain of 24. Instead, it's 3rd down and 10 for Matt Mitchell and company.
I'm interested to see what we do here as far as Grand Valley, because this is a change in momentum, and it could be big for Ferris.
Reed, the lone setback, pressure comes. Katapka unloads, and it's incomplete. Another home run ball intended for Brandon Wadley.
Alex Thomas is really showing up big in this second half early. He was tested a lot early in the beginning, and the best corner, James Caesar on Ferris State, hasn't been tested much, and they're really trying to go at Alex Thomas, and he's responding well.
Boy, how much does it pain a team when you pull a fake punt off and run it for a first down and then can't capitalize?
Shep, I'm just going to tell you, they're not going to fake this one.
Way to first guess on this one, too. You were right before. I bet you're right again here on 4th and 10. Beals sneaks inside his own 15 to try and return it for Ferris State. Peterson delivers. That rolls inside the 5 and another dandy.
How about the punting today?
It's been unbelievable. Both these teams have been stellar in that regard. Tough call for Grand Valley. They thought they had a first down. They thought they had a gain of 24. They thought they were within the opponent's red zone. Instead, it's ruled incomplete. And now the Bulldogs take over their first drive in the third when we come back.
Welcome back to Top Taggart Field. The Lakers lead the Bulldogs 9-7 in the third quarter. Dr. David Eisler has been the president of Ferris State for the last 17 years, and every single year he's played in the band, and he joins me here on the field. Dr. Eisler, thanks so much for being with me here today. What has prompted you to want to play in the band every single year?
Well, thank you, Brooke. We have great students who play in our band. I love to play my clarinet, and it's just something that I can do together with the students. They're great fans, they cheer for the teams, and we have a great time together.
Well, speaking of the fans and this team, I mean, as president, you have to be so proud. What does this mean to you to see the success that this football program has had?
Well, Tony Anise has created great success for us in our football program at Ferris. It's elevated our entire university. The atmosphere on campus today is electric. We had 550 students here for a prospective student event. It's just fun to be out here, be with the fans, be with our team.
Well, you recently, the school has suffered a loss. Dr. Robert Avagaven, who is the president a while back, what sort of influence did he have on you and your career?
Well, President Avagaven became a great friend of mine. We actually worked on one of the programs we have here at Ferris together. Bob was just a wonderful, creative, great leader for our university. He helped actually convert us from a college to a university. We'll miss him a lot.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with me today. Matt, I'll send it back to you.
Brooke, thanks very much. Their outstanding ice arena named after Ava Glavin. Penalty against Ferris State. If you're going to get it, there's the place to get it. Russell throws on first down, and it's incomplete. His intended receiver is Xavier Wade. He's been his favorite receiver so far here today. Here's what the president was talking about and just how good Ferris State has been. 65-3 since ending 2013 on a 4-game roll. At least a share of their 11th GLIAC title so far going into the game here today. They've won 22 straight GLIAC games since 2017. This has been a proverbial house of horrors for opposing teams. Another throw and another incompletion and another attempt to Xavier Wade, covered by Jalen Moore. So back-to-back throws at Moore for Wade, both of them incomplete.
I like going back to it because I think it was there, and you just need a better throw from Travis Russell. If that throw is thrown on the back shoulder like they practice, I think he could be successful, but he's doing a not so good job. The first throw was a little low, and the next throw was a little too far in front. I think if he puts it on the back shoulder, that'll be a great throw.
Wade trying to get up and get those hops going. He was an all-stater in basketball at West Ottawa in Holland. 3rd and 10. Throwing again. Downfield and incomplete. All three at the same spot, at the same corner, and each time Jalen Moore stood tall.
Coach is very upset as we're running down the field here. You're going to see there's a little bit of a pushing going on there, but the ball's not in the air, and they let him kind of play here, and they're kind of both pushing. It's tough.
Seen some good football technique so far here today. Definitely. And flipping the field on a punt is what Grand Valley was able to do. Let's see how the Bulldogs handle it. High snap handled And that one will squirt out of bounds at the 38-yard line of Ferris State. That's what you call flipping the field for certain. Let's see if Grand Valley can take advantage. For as good as Ferris State has been recently, Grand Valley has been steady in the history of their program. No Division II program has won more than Grand Valley. They've got 4 national championships. In back-to-back titles in 02 and 03, they were coached by current Notre Dame coach Brian Kelly. Chuck Martin, now at the University of Miami, Ohio, coached him in 05 and 06. And Matt Mitchell was an assistant on both those teams. And there's a quarterback run for Cole Katopka to get inside the 30 down to the 28-yard line. They're going to give it to you. Why not take it? Nice first down run for the Laker QB.
Absolutely. We saw him force some things in the first half. I'm glad that he's finally making a decision. Hey, if they're going to give me the run, even though I'm not quite a runner, I'm going to go get it.
A gain of 9 to bring up 2nd down and 1. As a quarterback, you love these situations. You got so many options.
You have everything at your fingertips. We can take a shot. We can give the ball up the middle. We can run quarterback power, whatever you want to do.
They're going to give it to Kane Vesey, and he's going to get the first down. Spun around at the 37-yard line, which is 1 yard past of where he needed to get, and it's a first down for Grand Valley.
Huge play on first down. Next play, you get the first down. I think that you might want to take a shot here. You got Wiley down here at the bottom of the screen. Give him a chance.
Lakers with a field goal and a defensive fumble recovery for a touchdown, a failed extra point. Ferris State scoring in the waning moments of the first half on a 20-yard touchdown pass. They'll keep it on the ground. A stop and start, and then just shoving his way towards some positive yardage is Arian Kane Vesey. Listen to this, getting after it.
Tell me this game doesn't mean something to Kane Vesey.
Doesn't take long to understand this rivalry, does it? 2nd down and 9. Reed now the lone tailback. They'll go play action. Up top, the receiver fell down and incomplete. They wanted to hit David Anderson, but he fell down on the route, bringing up 3rd down and 9.
James Caesar's their best cover guy, and you can kind of see why he's not being tested a whole lot. With the safeties playing so low, you're kind of forced to do this, but I think he might have picked the wrong side of it.
Caesar, a senior from Detroit East English Village, started his career at Southern Illinois and then transferred. Played 4 games before a back injury with the Salukis.
Detroit East English Village, coached by Rod Oden. He's now at Harper Woods High School. They do a great job with their players.
They're going to fake the run, and Katopka's going to keep it. He's going to cut it back, get past the 20. It looked like he fumbled it. Needed to get to the 18. He's going to be just a little shy, it looks like.
Katopka tried to keep the defense, tried to catch him slipping there. Try to catch him asleep, and he doesn't quite get where he needs to get. As we know, he's not the runner of these other guys, but he fumbles the ball, and that's the most important part, because maybe they could go for this if he doesn't fumble the ball, but he loses 3 yards on the fumble, and now you almost have to kick the field goal.
4th down and 3, so they will attempt the field goal. This will be a 37-yard attempt for Josh Gorball, and the kick is no good. Missed it just a little left. So the Lakers, an impressive opportunity goes awry. They were able to move the football a little bit better offensively than they have most of the game, but they come up short. A missed field goal attempt to keep the score close. 9-7 visitors here in Big Rapids and here on Fox Sports Detroit. Grand Valley enters 8-1 in this game. Their lone loss, a tough one. October 5th against Ashland with 3 seconds left and 52 yards away from the end zone. Ashland quarterback Austin Brenner throws that Hail Mary pass. It's caught by Logan Balin. Ashland stuns at the time number 9 Grand Valley State with their first loss of the year. 20-17 the final. But Matt Mitchell's team has a way of responding. They have been in tight games most of this season, and they're not afraid of these close affairs, are they, Devin?
They're not afraid of it at all. And like I said earlier, I think that they are battle tested, and this is the type of game that they wanted to be in.
8:46 left to go in the third. Travis Russell remains in at quarterback, sheds one would-be tackler, and then out of bounds at about the 26-yard line. They give him 4 to bring up second down and 6.
That was almost disastrous. But I think that was kind of the whole, you know, when you kick a kickoff and the guy kind of drops the ball and then everybody relax, and now we go for a touchdown. Those guys looked like they were going to fumble the ball, and so now it leads out the back door for the quarterback to get some positive yardage.
We've got an injured Grand Valley Laker. Remember, no JR Campbell so far for Ferris State because of an injury that he suffered earlier this season. So Ferris State ad-libbing their offense a little bit without Campbell, who no doubt would be a difference maker. But with that said, Travis Russell was the GLIAC Player of the Week for the second time in his career in a blowout win over Michigan Tech last week. So they don't lose a whole lot. I mean, Devin talked about it at the beginning of our broadcast, the depth at quarterback for Tony Anise and the type of ability he has to run different things. Ferris State ranks second in the country. Only Valdosta State has a better ranking than the Bulldogs. And Grand Valley ranked 14th in the country. Tony Anise really likes his team. He likes the way they play together. He likes their camaraderie and how much they care for one another. And he just loves the fact that they love winning. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys who love playing football, but you got to love to play football and to win. It hurts these guys not to win. It's worse to lose than it is feeling good about winning. Brooke Fletcher's on the sideline, always a winner. And she's got more from the sideline about Travis Russell. Brooke?
Yeah, Matt, we've talked about how great of a game Travis Russell has had. He got his undergraduate degree earlier this year and still had one more year of eligibility. Where many guys would have kind of hung their cleats up, he decided to come back, get his MBA, and be on the team with his friends. What he knew he was going to be the backup to JR Campbell, but what he didn't know was how much of an asset he was going to be to this team. Because of JR's injuries, he kind of seized the moment, was able to show off his skill set. He won Offensive GLIAC Player of the Week this past week, and he's playing in the biggest game of the season, Matt.
And he's a two-time nominee, Brooke, for the All-State Good Works team. That combines football and classroom ability. Good play by Ferris State on that first down. They get it to Xavier Wade, and he continues to excel. He's had a nice ball game, the sophomore from Holland, Michigan.
Talk about All-State Good Works team. Xavier Wade is probably going to be a part of the Good Hands team. He's been phenomenal today, and he continues to make plays. And that time, not a contested catch, makes the easy one and turns it up for a big gain. Travis Russell drops back, a quick, easy throw, right? Get the ball out of his hands so we can see the ball going into his receiver's hands and let the receiver do the work.
Wants to throw again. Good block by Marvin Campbell to a wide open Javon Shaw. He tiptoes his way close to the 30 and just inside the Grand Valley 30. Really good protection, but how about the block by Marvin Campbell, the tailback there?
I think that's phenomenal, right? That's giving everything you've got, right? You got to make sure that your quarterback stays clean. He finishes that guy out of the way, and so now we're rolling. I think Grand Valley's defense is reeling.
Pickup of 25. Now they reward Campbell with an inside give. He takes on the Grand Valley defender and gets down to the 22-yard line. He and Antonio Strong showing their weight room ability, battling one another there in that head-to-head matchup.
Gaining yardage hasn't been a problem for Ferris State. The one thing that has been a problem is getting inside this 20-yard line in this red zone area and finishing. This is where Grand Valley has been, but they haven't broken. And hopefully Ferris State is trying to get to the end zone today.
Marvin Campbell, really good-looking runner. We mentioned earlier about him being from Detroit Loyola, sharing some time with Jeremy Burrell and Tyler Miner in the backfield. And another Grand Valley injury. This time it's Demario Johnson, who's been pretty good as that senior cornerback, one of those leaders on that Grand Valley defense. They need leadership here to stop a Ferris State offense that's suddenly finding its groove. It's been a tight one throughout. 9-7, Grand Valley leads it, but Devin Gardner now, this is where your depth in your team really plays a factor. They've lost both their starting corners in this one to injury.
Indubitably. Johnson is down, and Moore's down. They're both out, and so if I'm Ferris State, I have to take a shot. And who better than Xavier Wade, that's had a phenomenal day against the #1 corners, but let's see what he can do against the backups.
It's a 2nd down and short for Ferris State.
Grand Valley doesn't change their style of defense.
Russell with an inside give. The pile moves forward inside the 20. Should be enough for a Bulldogs first down. Good effort by the offensive line up front for Ferris State.
Shep, I think they're going to give them the first down here, and I'll be aware. If Grand Valley must really trust these backup corners because they're still playing this man-to-man defense. They're leaving Xavier Way one-on-one at the top of the screen.
Russell with a give. Campbell stutter steps his way and tightropes along the near sideline inside the 10. Marvin Campbell's done it with his feet and his blocking on this drive. Nice job.
Both Moore and Johnson were doing a great job tackling on the edge at cornerback. 27 doesn't do a great job, and he's kind of moved out of the way by the wide receiver.
1st and goal for the Bulldogs. 2 wide receivers set. The run is stuffed. Brendan Brown continues to excel. He's that outside linebacker for Grand Valley, the sophomore from Southfield. Played his high school ball at Harrison. He and Dennis Johnson, we've talked about most of the day. Dennis Johnson, the big fella inside, wears 91 in white.
Loss of 2. 2nd and goal from the 9.
2nd down and goal for Ferris State. Remember, Grand Valley's red zone defense, number 2 in the country. On jet motion, Cy Barnett looking for the edge. He's got the edge, and then he's pummeled out of bounds. And he fumbled the football, too. And Grand Valley says they've got it. They do. Jalen Harden with the hit. Jake Lava with the recovery.
What another unfortunate series of events for Ferris State in the red zone.
That's why we talked about Grand Valley's success defensively in the red zone. Number 2 in the country, a big reason here.
Get the ball in the hands of your perceived best player on your team, and the ball comes out, and I think they're going to overturn this because it hit the back of a Grand Valley player, and he's sitting out of bounds, and I'm sure they might talk about it, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he lost it in the air.
The official places the football at the 3-yard line.
I don't know if there's enough to overturn that, Dev.
Yeah, I mean, you don't ever see a guy flying out of bounds and the ball stays in bounds. That's very unfortunate for Ferris State. That's a great play, right? You see your guy get taken out, chasing the ball, and then everybody's flying to defense. And I think the reason their defense is so good is because they fly to the ball. There's not one single guy flying around and trying to make all the plays. Everybody's flying to the ball like bees to honey, and I think they're doing a very good job of it. And now they have another turnover for the team.
Well, the guy who delivered that big blow, Jalen Harden, is the man still down for Grand Valley. He's had a really strong game at that safety position. Another look at it. Grand Valley's defense continues to make big plays. They have carried their team so far here this afternoon, not just forcing that turnover inside the 10-yard line. Remember earlier in the 2nd quarter with a 3-0 lead, this is what happened. And Isaiah Nkansa scooped it up and scored. The big fella had enough left in the tank to get the touchdown. At the time, gave his team a 9-0 lead. It's now 9-7. And the Grand Valley defense gives it back to their offense. Started on the ground with nothing doing. We talked about strength against strength. The strength of Ferris State was their offense. Grand Valley's strength was their defense. Look at those gaudy numbers and where they rank in the country.
They've been aided by some great punting and some great special teams, and they put all their skills on full display.
2nd down and 9, and Kane Vesey held up shy of the 10-yard line.
10-yard line.
Good tackle by Trevor Tank, one of the best names in football.
How about
Trevor
that
Tank,
name,
right? 6'3", 275 pounds, the junior from South Line. We saw him attacking the blocking sled. I felt bad for the sled.
Could you play any other position with that name? You've
No.
got to be an interior guy. You have to. Great name.
You have to be either a defensive lineman or a wrestler. Grand Valley 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. It's going to be 1 for 9.
I think Katopka maybe went one too many times to the keeper.
Yep, he didn't fool anybody on that play.
Avante Bell met him first for Ferris.
Avante Bell held his ground and did a nice job. Last year, a second-team All-GLIAC member. He's had another fine season, the junior from Lansing Sexton.
Avante Bell came into the game, 42 tackles, second on the team to only Sam Hybor. Great job by that cornerback, right? Don't you love to see cornerbacks coming up and feeling?
Oh, you know, I love that they're willing to make those tackles. Too many times you see corners who just care about pass pro, right?
James Caesar's not getting a lot of action in the pass game, but he's sticking his nose in there and making plays.
Off the bounce and sneaking his way to the 32 is Dion Earls. JR Campbell, who's looking to see if he'll make an appearance. He was working out earlier before the kickoff, trying to test the injury that he's had to deal with. But we have yet to see him here today. Ranks 3rd among all active D2 quarterbacks in career total offense. Ranks 2nd among active D2 quarterbacks in passing efficiency. No doubt they miss his skill set. Travis Russell's at the helm yet again. 1st and 10, great field position at the Grand Valley 32. Russell with a handoff. Feeling his way down to the 26 is Tyler Minor. Here's what they're missing with Campbell. This was the Harlan Hill Trophy season that he put up last season. Those numbers gaudy no matter what level of football you're playing.
Shep, you're going to say not bad at all. Those are amazing numbers. 1460 on the ground. I mean, that is exactly what you want to see from a dual threat guy. Almost 3,000 yards passing, 49 total touchdowns. That's amazing.
What would he be able to help with this offense? An awful lot. Led the team to a 5th straight playoff. There's a give. There's some room. There's a Tyler Minor touchdown. A 26-yard touchdown sprint for Minor to put the Bulldogs in the lead.
Watch Adam Sealer here. Completely seals number 44, making sure that he doesn't have a chance to even sniff the ball. Up the middle we go, up the left side.
And the extra point is good. Sealer, known as a backup. You want a big dude? It doesn't get much bigger than
he's
Adam
a backup,
Sealer.
all right. He's a backup, all right. He's been backing him up.
6'5", 340 pounds.
I mean,
watch
a
what
man
he does.
just completely covers him up. There's no part of the Laker defender's body that this running back can see, and that's exactly what you want to see from your offensive line, especially from a guy who's not even a starter.
How about Ferris State's 2 touchdown drives? They're both, I mean, combined, it's like 63 yards. That time they had to go just 32 yards. They did it in 2 plays and 43 seconds. Tyler Minor finishing things off with his 8th rushing touchdown of the year.
How about this atmosphere, Shep? You score a touchdown, you see everybody in the end zone congratulating you, all the Ferris State faithful. This is an amazing atmosphere, and I'm very excited to see how this game turns out.
Remember, this is a Grand Valley State defense that doesn't give up a lot of touchdowns. They've given up 19 on the year, including the 2 today. Matter of fact, the touchdown pass earlier today was just the 5th allowed and only the 2nd before the 4th quarter. 3:21 left to go here in the 3rd. That ball sails through the end zone, and Grand Valley will start at 1st and 10 from their own 25. We talked about Adam Sealer being such a good player, the sophomore from Pinckney. He's following the footsteps of his brother, Zach Sealer, the former Ferris State All-American and the first Bulldog ever drafted in the NFL. The Ravens took him in the 7th round. And he was a high school All-Stater as well from Pinckney, and his brother hoping to follow suit.
6 feet 5 inches tall, and he stands up right on cue. 340 pounds. Does he have a mic?
Cole Katopka keeps it shy of the 30. I like what you said when you watched him in practice. You said, that dude is huge, but he can move.
He's a dancing bear.
Just because he's a dancing bear. All he's missing is the skirt, right?
At the 29-yard line, second down and 6.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the third. Second down and 6. Maybe some concern here for Grand Valley because their offense really hasn't found that groove that they expected?
I think so. I think they're really going to have to get something going on this drive because now the momentum has switched its address, and it's at Ferris State address.
Second down and 6 and a stoppage of play before they can get that play off. It's an illegal motion against Grand Valley.
And that will not help that momentum.
Nope.
False start. Offense number 8. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Hey, be on the lookout for the FWIM bus tour headed to a city near you. Join former Lion great Herman Moore and Joy Bell, as well as our partner right here, University of Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner, at participating Kroger stores around the state for autographs and photos and giveaways and more. All on behalf of the Kroger Zero Hunger, Zero Waste program and the Ford Fund Driving Skills for Life program. For more information, visit fwiminfo.com. Always difficult to recover when you go back behind the chains. Tariq Reed did his best to get a little bit back. It'll be up a third down and long.
Amari McCauley was there first for Ferris on the tackle. Third down.
At this point, I think Grand Valley needs to bring out their best 3 plays right here to make sure they get this first down, because essentially they're fighting for their football lives, not only in this game, but during the season.
Trips to the right for Cole Katopka. Pressure comes, he delivers, we got a flag on the play, and Devin Anderson's going nowhere. They've run that slip screen 3 times, it's worked once. Ferris State's been on the lookout for it since.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great job by Coach East and his staff. The first time it was a pretty explosive play for him. The next time maybe a little less, and that time absolutely nothing doing for the Grand Valley offense. These guys are really sniffing it out. Watch once again. 33 on the play. James Caesar making sure that there's no way that play can be stopped. He's not getting tested in the pass game, but he's doing a great job making sure that he stops all the runs. And a screen is essentially a long run.
Forces Grand Valley into a punting situation. Cade Peterson on to try and punt it away. He's delivered a couple inside the 5. Dion Earls doesn't have to trot that far back. Instead, he'll line up at his own 45.
Dion Earls is very explosive, and the momentum is on Ferris State's side.
Peterson. Ooh, that hit a player up front. That's a live ball, and Earls falls out of bounds at about the 47. I wasn't sure if that hit a Ferris State player or a Grand Valley State. If it hit a Ferris State player, a Grand Valley player could have easily recovered that. Just not sure who it hit, but because it hit somebody, it was tipped, I guess, by a Ferris State player, then the punter's free game. So Travis Russell and the Bulldogs take over, up 14-9 and looking for more.
With momentum on
your
side,
downfield, they've got it. They've got it inside the 20. Good play for Marcus Taylor, and he's to the house. That was quick.
Get a huge stop. All the momentum is on your side. What do you do? Great call by Coach East and the staff.
Go for the jugular.
Short play fake, right? What have they done on first down for the most part? They've run the ball. Play fake, get guys sucked up, get the ball where he can catch it and run, up the sideline, touchdown Ferris.
The extra point is up and through. And the Bulldogs, who at one point were down 9-0, have responded with 21 unanswered. This one, a touchdown pass from Travis Russell to Marcus Taylor, the first catch of the day for Taylor and his second touchdown of the season.
It's a smorgasbord out there. You got 3 guys running wide open. That's a great job by Travis Russell, obviously finding the best guy because he ran for a touchdown.
Well, what did you say earlier? You were talking about running crossing routes.
Yes,
more
indeed.
Crossing routes. That was a crossing route, a 52-yard pitch and catch. Russell to Taylor, and the Bulldogs now lead it 21-9.
The way Grand Valley plays defense, crossing patterns are going to hurt it. You can't cover guys all the way across the field. It makes it difficult. You give a play fake, and now you have a guy running free. A number of guys running free, but he chose the right guy.
Big play capability for this Ferris State offense. Their scoring drives have totaled 6 plays, 116 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That is making the most of your opportunities.
Explosive, explosive, explosive. Those are explosive plays, and they're really doing good for Ferris.
This is returnable from inside his own 5. And a big hit shy of the 25-yard line. That's where you're starting to feel it too. Then special teams gets involved and everybody is part of it. Javon Bayless with a big hit on special teams. Brandon Wadley on the return.
Shep, this may be the most important drive of the game for Grand Valley if they want to stay in this fight.
Yeah, you would argue this is the most important drive, right? They have to answer with points here.
Absolutely, and I think that Ferris State is going to pin their ears back, and I don't think they're going to just be able to run up the middle on them.
Katopka with an inside handoff to Kane Vesey. Nothing there. There's just nothing there on that edge. Austin Simpson closed it down.
Austin Simpson, 91.
Like I said, Shep, I don't think it's going to be easy to continue to run the ball. They're pinning their ears back, and they're ready for this. And that's a great job by Simpson, running straight down the line of scrimmage. The unblocked guy, because it's a read option. That's a great job by him, making a play and really, really delivering a blow.
He's a big, strong kid in high school at Livonia Churchill. He set the school record in hang and clean squat. He was absolutely massive on that play. 2nd down and 9. Flag on the play before you can get it away. And it's another illegal motion for Grand Valley. We've seen that at least 3 times against the Lakers today.
Coach Mitchell is not going to be excited about this. He talked about those TNTs, and they've really hurt him. If you remember, before the half, Ferris State was aided by a 15-yard penalty by Grand Valley, and that's what helped them get in range to score.
Right.
And so those TNTs are really hurting Grand Valley, and that's exactly what Coach Mitchell did not want.
The penalty makes it 2nd down and 14.
Yeah, those are the things that drive coaches nuts. When we were talking about TNTs, we talked about it before. It's the plays that take no talent. Plays between the ears, like lining up correctly, jumping off sides, after the whistle blows, things like that. It's basically discipline penalties or lack thereof. Katopka goes downfield, and it's incomplete off the hands of his tight end, Jake Slager, the sophomore from Zeeland West High School.
Jake Slager was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 14. Let's get loud.
How about the effort by Amari McCauley? Completely stretching out. Look at this. Stretches out and barely. The game of inches and why we love it. Stretches out, gives everything he has for his team, his defense, his coach, his brothers, and makes the play. Now we have a 3rd and long.
McCauley, the senior from Detroit Martin Luther King High School. Grand Valley 1 for 10 on 3rd downs. Katopka pressured, flips it up ahead, and I don't know, 31-yard line. Tough one for Bryce Young-Wells. Needed to get to the 33. He's going to be a couple yards shy of moving the chains.
Shep, decisions like this that are about to come up, that's why I'm happy I'm up here with you.
Well, okay.
This is tough.
But I want to know what you do.
This is tough. This is tough. 4th and 3, right? The momentum is all on Ferris' side. If you don't get this game could be over, right? But if you punt it away and Ferris has another touchdown, this game could also be over. So it's a very tough decision. And that's why they get paid the big bucks, and we talk about it.
Yeah, 31-yard line right now. Matt Mitchell trying to get a feel from his offensive line. When coaches have this situation, are they looking at their players? You've been in that hole. Are they looking in your eyes, looking for the confidence? Are they talking to somebody, asking for feedback? What's the conversation?
So right now with the game on the line, you're going to use at least one of your two or three two-point plays, right? Because this is a short amount of two-point play distance. You need your best plays to make sure that you get this first down, because like I said, if this first down isn't gained, it's going to be tough sledding for Grand Valley to win this football game.
Nearly impossible. But what they're going to do is they're going to trot out the punt unit. Remember, they've already had one faked punt today, and it was successful. Yeah. Chances of that happening again, very slim. Deion Earls, one of the best returners in the country, is back right around his own 36-yard line.
They're trying to get a look that they want, and I don't think they got it. Going to have to punt this one away.
You mean Grand Valley to see if they're going to punt, to see if they're going to fake it?
Yep. Those two guys running back and forth just to see if they get the look that they want, and then they don't see it, they're going to have to punt it away.
They kick it away from Earls, but then he scoops it up at the 30-yard line and is able to pick up a few yards out to the 33, 34 or so, depending on where they mark him. Well, this is all part of our exciting football coverage of Football Week in Michigan, a Thanksgiving weekend tradition taking place on Fox Sports Detroit for more than 20 years. It's the MHSAA State Finals from Ford Field, live right here on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit Plus. We're going to crown 8 state champions over a 2-day span, so we hope you can join us on Thanksgiving weekend. I know Devin Gardner will be part of that. I'm honored to be part of it yet again. Rob Rubik will be involved, Johnny Kane involved. It's
you know who else might be a part of it, Shep? A couple of those young go-getters out there training hard, making sure they stay in the playoffs.
Let's see how Ferris State handles this possession. It's an incompletion. Russell on that throw. Travis Russell with a couple of touchdown passes here today. The latest to Marcus Taylor, the first to Xavier Wade. 3 seconds left to go here in the third. Those are his numbers, good-looking numbers in terms of yards.
Yeah, I think the cold is kind of affecting him here. A couple throws that we saw him make in practice. We've seen him make last week. He's made a lot of those back shoulder throws. He's kind of been off on them, high, low, maybe a little too far in front. But for the most part, he's played a very, very good football game, and I think he can continue to do that.
The senior from Grand Rapids West Catholic with the final play of the third. That's incomplete. Good decision by Xavier Wade. Football knowledge, you got it right there. He decided to, because he thought that might have been a lateral, so he said, you know what, let's just let it go incomplete. It's not going to help me at all. It's not going to help my offense. No clock, no time ran off the clock there. So now 3rd down and 10. Maybe this will be the final play of the quarter. Russell flush from the pocket. He's going to keep it. Get up past the 40 to the 41-yard line. And that'll be shy of the first down. And Ferris State, in all probability, will have to punt it away to start the 4th. The Bulldogs down 9-0 at one point have taken the lead on 3 straight touchdowns, 1 on the ground, a couple through the air, despite Grand Valley's hard-hitting defense giving it its all. We head to the 4th in Big Rapids after this. A special presentation of Football Week in Michigan is presented by Kroger with Devin Gardner, Brooke Fletcher, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew. I'm Matt Shepard. Welcome to Big Rapids. A lot of folks out here having a lot of fun before kickoff. During the game, 7,948 to watch this showdown of top 15 teams. Number 2, Ferris State. Number 14, Grand Valley. And it's been a good one. The battle for the Anchor Bone Trophy. Ferris State on a 4th down and 2 from their own 41 will trot out Evan Cummins, the running quarterback, the sophomore from Livonia Churchill.
Yeah, Chef, this is the hammer. He's going to go right behind these guys on the right, and he might kick this ball away.
Might be a quick kick, yeah. He steps back, puts a right foot in it.
It's a very good decision.
Over Antonio Strong's head, and this one's going to roll all the way, and it will waffle down at the 1-yard line. Each team Each team has been able to pin the opponent twice at their own 1-yard line.
Shep, I know they're bitter rivals, right? And I know they're fighting for the Anchorbone Trophy. I think these guys need to host a kicking camp together, right? They need to host a kicking camp together. This has been phenomenal. This is exactly what you want to see from your punter.
This is the thing is, he's not a punter.
Exactly.
He's a quarterback.
So they must be doing something right at both of these universities.
I mean, you were
and
a
how about
quarterback.
our best receiver coming and kneeling down inside the 1-yard line again? I mean, has there ever been a game where 4 or 5 balls have been kneeled inside the 1-yard line?
But you're a quarterback. Could you do that?
No!
Thanks for the honesty. Cole Katopka starts on the ground, and a nice breaking run for Kane Vesey all the way up close to the 30-yard line. That's how you get out of the shadows of your own goal line.
Shep, we talked about the dangers of not having a safety and committing Foley to the run, and it's zero blitz. Look, he gets out. Now you have nobody on the second level to stop him, and he's a huge game for Grand Valley. And those are the steps they need to take to make sure they can still compete in this football game.
Closing in on 100 yards for Vesey. Grand Valley's had 4 running backs who have broken 100 yards in a game, and he's been one of them. They'll throw it, and it goes through the hands and incomplete of Brandon Wadley.
That's Grand Valley's try at the crossing patterns, right? Because they saw in the first half they played all man. Crossing patterns hurt that. Wiley does not make the catch on that play.
Those may not be home run balls. They may not be touchdown passes, but those are passes you gotta have. An injured Ferris State Bulldog, Alex Thomas,
and
remains
Shep,
down on the field.
Those are passes that get them out of that man defense, so now the box is softer and you can run the football. Right, if you want to run the football, get the ball out quickly, make sure that they can't play that man defense, and now they have to dedicate more guys to a zone defense, and now they have trouble.
All right, when you say box, what do you mean by that? The men
Between
who are
the
ready?
tackles, right, inside the tackle box, which is tackle to tackle, that's the box. And if there are a lot of guys in there, you usually don't want to run. And if you run some crossing patterns, you get guys in space. Now they don't feel like they can play man. They have to put safeties back to make sure those big plays don't happen. Now that box is not empty, but it's a lot lighter than it usually is.
That gives you a better opportunity to make a man miss, and it gives you a better opportunity for your offensive lineman to reach that second level. Fair enough. There's Alex Thomas, still getting used to the weather here. It's not like Lauderdale Lakes, I can tell you that. But Thomas is a guy who's a transfer from Cincinnati. He was a 3-star high school player, committed to Cincinnati rather than Minnesota or South Florida or even Bowling Green, and then not playing last year. 2015 had 23 tackles, had the injury, and then came here to Ferris State to try and help Tony Anise and company win a national championship.
Love to see a guy get up and jog off the field and make sure that he's able to stay in this football game.
2nd down and 10 for Grand Valley.
This is not a down and distance that Grand Valley wants to be in. Hopefully they can convert.
Quarterback keeper, they will convert, and then some. Katopka goes sliding past the 45.
So there's a quarterback number 7 that was supposed to play in this game. We didn't expect to see it from their quarterback number 7. That's a great play by a guy who we don't see as a runner. He takes it, he fakes it, and Ferris State, he fools him finally. He gets up the middle, slides down safely, right? Not to take any hits to make sure he can finish it.
Mark him really at the 44. That's a Jacoby Jones-like slide, right? Arian Kane Vesey is back in, the lone setback. 1st and 10. Cole Katopka turns and play action. Deep drop all day to throw it. He'll float it up there and it'll be hauled in at the 37-yard line by Brandon Wadley.
As we take a look at this play, this is very similar to the play that Ferris State ran to score a touchdown. Now, the guy was not wide open. Another combat catch in this football game. Wadley making an amazing catch to go up and get the football with his football life on the line. Him and his team are driving.
He's just 8 yards to reach 1,000 for his career now. It's 1st and 10 for the Lakers. One of their better drives of the day. And Kane Vesey able to get his way inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Again, doesn't seem like a lot, but you'll take runs like that. These are the runs that help you bust open double-digit yard gains.
Absolutely, and you've seen a lot of those runs. They've stuck with the running game. They have not shot away from it, and they've had a lot of explosive runs because of that.
Katopka brings a man in motion, now sets up. Uh-oh, pressure comes, and down he goes. Did he fumble it? Might have been loose on the turf. Ferris State says they've got it. Let's see what the word is. It is! It's Bulldogs football. Avante Bell came out of the pile with it.
On 2nd and 8, Ferris has been big-time man-to-man. They throw a monkey wrench in their whole plan. They play a cover 4 look, and so it confuses Katopka, and now he has to get out. Now, he has to protect the football. He has to protect the football, but that's a great job of the defensive coordinator making sure that he throws some curveballs for Katopka so that he can't just drop back and pick them apart.
Yeah, Ryan Hodges has done a really nice job for Ferris State as their defensive coordinator. He's brought some fresh ideas from a lot of the players on this Ferris State team as they go to the ground attack with Jeremy Burrell. But Hodges is a guy who said last year we were a little too basic, so we run more schemes and more variations, and obviously it fooled Grand Valley there.
And though cover 4 is a zone, right, it can have some man principles, and so within what they do, they did a great job of picking some zone and making sure they confuse the quarterback.
Hodges told us earlier in the week we've played more zone this year than we've ever played before in his coaching career, and it's a unique situation with him because he graduated from Ferris State in 2002 and played for Tony Anise in high school at Montrose. On a 2nd down and long, keep it on the ground. Tyler Miner, who's got a rushing touchdown for the Bulldogs so far today, carrying would-be tacklers close to a 1st down. Be just shy, it'll be 3rd down and 1. Now Grand Valley, to a certain extent, Devin, is playing against 2 opponents, the clock and Ferris State. Here's a 3rd down and 1 play. Russell with a give, and this is going to be a tackle for loss. It's a fumble. Who's got it? Does Grand Valley have another one? They said they do. And it is. It's Grand Valley football. 2nd fumble recovery of the day. Dennis Johnson, the big hoss inside, tag team with James McBride to force the cough up.
When players are getting graded in film, you get pluses, you get minuses. Did you do your job, and did you go up and above your job? He does his job. He stops him right there. But now, let's get the ball out. That's a great job by 2 great players making a play on the ball and then having the wherewithal to get on top of it and make sure that they change possession.
Aided by the linebacker, Tyler Bradfield sets up their offense. It's 1st and 10 at the 44. Flag on the play. Grand Valley wants to throw. Katopka's got time. Weaving through a maze of Ferris State defensive linemen. Austin Edwards, one of them. And he pulled him down for a big-time loss.
I don't know, Shepard. Looks like another one of those TNTs out there.
Well, how many times has Grand Valley been flagged for illegal motion? Ferris State declines the penalty.
Katopka has to do a better job of holding on to that football. He's swinging it around with one hand on it. Around that area, inside the pocket, inside that box, you need to keep 2 hands on the football. He goes down awkwardly there. He needs to be more careful.
It's a loss of 5 on the play, Devin. 2nd down and 15. You see the fumbles, but how many lost? Ferris State has lost 3.
Katopka's hopping.
They'll run it. Tariq Reed. Not much happening in the middle of that Ferris State defense, right? That Ferris State defense in front. When you got Edwards and Simpson and Jones and Tank and doing a nice job of stuff in the middle. Simpson with another key opportunity there for the Bulldog defensive front 4.
Though we don't see Katopka as a big-time runner, he has affected this game with his running ability. and him being hobbled is a big deficit to Grand Valley's offense.
Is this 4-down territory for Grand Valley?
This has to be 4-down territory. They're across the 50. They have to get a first down here to keep this game alive.
3rd and 12. Katopka keeps it. He's not going anywhere. Ian Hall sniffed it out and dropped him for another loss. His 4th tackle for loss on the season.
As I just talked about, a hobbled Katopka is going to hurt this football team. He pulls the ball. He might have been able to get on the edge if he wasn't hobbled. He tries to stick his foot in the ground. He can't quite do it. That's a big man with a lower body injury, and it's not looking good.
Surprised they didn't throw for it on 3rd down and long. A loss of 3 to make it 4th and 15. Peterson hits it on the nose of the football. Earls comes up and grabs it at the 16. Dances his way to the near sidelines, out of bounds. You're Ferris State right now, 9-11 left from finishing unbeaten. You're up 21-9, even though you put it on the turf 3 times. You got to feel good in your home barn, leading your rival 21-9 on Fox Sports Detroit. We talked a lot about the defense today, but Travis Russell has been a steady force for Ferris State for the most part, Devin, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's had some bad field position, right? Back against the wall, and he needs to make plays for his team to win. He's done that. It's about as much as you can ask from a guy who didn't probably expect to play with JR Campbell being hobbled. That's a great job by Travis Russell. I'm very excited to see him develop, right, and maybe take this team to where they need to go if JR Campbell wasn't able to return.
Over 270 yards through the air, a couple of touchdown passes. He's also rushed for 25 yards, so total yards of offense up close to 300 for Travis Russell.
This is why you stay as a senior. This is why you come back and you play. You get a chance to be in this rivalry, in this atmosphere, and make a play. And here he is making another.
Making another one and making men miss and trying to get up the sideline and stay inbounds. Instead, he's thrown out of bounds by Antonio Strong, but not before a huge gain for the senior quarterback to rush it all the way up just past the 35.
How about your backup quarterback coming in and watch how he finishes this run? Come here. I'm going to get you. That's it. Give it everything you got. Make sure your team knows that they can win a national championship with you at the helm. Great read, great blocks. Way to finish this run. You know, usually you want to see your quarterback run out of bounds, right? When you're the backup and you're trying to make sure your team trusts you, you make sure that you finish every single run.
It's a gain of 47. The longest run for him on the day and the longest for him on the season. He's got his team in prime position, already up 21-9.
Welcome back to Top Taggart Field. Grand Valley's defense has been struggling this game, but they do have a bright light, and that's Mike Pettis. He is the epitome of what football week in Michigan is all about, you guys. He came to Grand Valley as a walk-on. He worked hard and became an all-conference player. He had high hopes coming into his senior year this season, but unfortunately got injured early in the season. Now, instead of standing on the sidelines like many players would, he decided to put his leadership skills to the test. So he went and put a headset on, started coaching the defensive line with defensive coordinator Coach Javon Bibbs. And coach from the sideline and in the booth, but he says it's given him a whole new perspective when he plays out on the field, Matt.
Yeah, it sure does. It's a really good story, a feel-good story. Mike Pettis, the senior from Battle Creek Central, where he was an all-state selection. And Brooks Wright, last year, an all-conference GLIAC, 49 tackles, 10.5 for loss. Trying to prevent Ferris State from the proverbial dagger. With under 9 minutes left, and the Bulldogs leading by 12. Considering Grand Valley's struggles offensively, one more score might do it for the Bulldogs. Russell on a 2nd down and 12. The handoff and bounce it to the outside the numbers and lower the shoulder. Jeremy Burrell creeps inside the 25.
It's a great job by Jeremy Burrell. Getting up in the hole, jump cut. Very good job. Running on the outside, finishing the run. Finishing the run, right? This game is almost over. They kind of have it in hand, but you won't see that by the way he's playing. He's trying to finish this football game, and that's what you need from Ferris State.
Sophomore from Benton Harbor gives Ferris State another first down. Set the Benton Harbor school record with 35 touchdowns while he was there. Gets another call. Going nowhere. Pushed backwards. Met by Brendan Brown right there in the hole.
Brendan Brown was the late there to stop him. Second and 10.
Burrell's got fresh legs. Look for him to have some explosive runs. He's been on ice. He's only had one carry prior to those two. Let's take a look at him.
Second down and 10. Russell will keep it on the ground. Burrell spinning out of a tackle and then gang tackle at the 27-yard line.
On the stop.
Under 7 minutes to go. Ferris State 33-2 in their last 35 games. Number 2 in the country. Trying to give Tony Anise his 85th win and his 100th coach game here in Big Rapids. They are 2 for 10 on third downs. They're going to throw it here. And Russell throws it wide and
Russell's pass incomplete.
What do you do here on 4th and 10?
Fourth down.
You're going to go for it, probably out of field goal range.
You got a former basketball player at the top of the screen that's had quite a day today.
Xavier Wade has a touchdown catch. He's man-to-man on the wide side of the field for Travis Russell, who's got a couple of touchdown throws so far today.
At home, just look at that space that Xavier Wade has to maneuver.
Ferris State calls a timeout. See what the Bulldogs draw up on the sideline. They lead it 21-9 with 6.5 remaining. Staring at a 4th and 10 on Fox Sports Detroit. Bigger play for Grand Valley's defense probably than Ferris State's offense. 4th and 10 from the 25. The Bulldogs leading by 12 and staring at this 4th down situation. Travis Russell and company are going to go for it.
With formation into the boundary, you have a lot of field out there. Posts, slants, any in-breaking right up there for Xavier Wade could be a good play.
Brings Shaw in motion. And they'll run their own version of a screen. Earl's got a nice couple of blocks. He's got that first down and more inside the 10-yard line. What a play. And what a couple of nice blocks up front.
This play was very close to not working, right? With the throw a little lower than we want. That's a great job by Ferris State's receiver, making sure that he scoops that ball off of the turf and gets down the field quickly. One of the best returners in the country. That's a great job. It turns into a return for him essentially, right, Shep?
Sure does, and a nice job out front by Dylan Pasquale, the junior tackle from Trenton High School. Doesn't have to have a pancake block, just got in the way. There's a fumble on the snap, and it's recovered by Russell. Second time that's happened. The first time it happened, Grand Valley scooped it and took it to the house.
We talked about it earlier, Shep. Ferris State has to get the snaps under control, and so now the game's on the line, and now it was a little high earlier. Now it's a little to the right with the jet sweep coming. It's going to be very tough for Travis Russell to get the ball down and get it to him.
Yeah, too many turnovers in the game overall. There's a pick here. Cole Katopka through into triple coverage. Here's the scoop and score by Isaiah Incansa. Overall, Ferris State has fumbled it away 3 times today.
Very uncharacteristic for both teams.
If there is a little bit, just a little bit of an Achilles heel for Ferris State, it is the fact that coming into the game today, they had turned it over 23 times. The one obviously really hurt him because of the touchdown. And there's the interception again that Katopka threw, triple coverage. Russell unable to handle that snap. And Conso returned it. That made it 9-0 Grand Valley. Cy Barnett had a nice play, and this was a wild fumble, but recovered by Grand Valley. They couldn't do anything with it. And this was on back-to-back possessions. Ferris State turned it over, and then Grand Valley turned it over, and then Ferris State gave it right back.
Ball security is the most important thing in any football game, not just this football game, but in games of this magnitude with so much on the line, with the rivalry, the trophy game, you have to protect the ball. And if you win the turnover margin, you probably have a very good chance of winning the game. Luckily, both teams have turned it over equally, and so nobody's really benefited from it.
I've seen a lot of different ways of playing the game of football and the importance of just about every facet. Defense, offense with some key plays, and special teams as well. A fake punt. We've seen a missed extra point, a missed field goal as well. We've had a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different things happening here today. Tyler Minor, the lone setback on a 3rd down and 21. Russell's going to throw for it. He wants the corner of the end zone, and he is throwing it incomplete. Wanted to go to Xavier Wade, and it'll be 4th down. 4th and goal from the 21. Here comes the kicking unit. Remember, Jackson Dieterle, we talked about Travis Russell being GLIAC Offensive Player of the Week last week in the 52-0 win over Michigan Tech. Well, Dieterle was the Special Teams Player of the Week. 2 straight weeks in which he's done that. Last week in snowy conditions, hit a field goal and went 7 for 7 on PATs. Looking for a field goal connection here, and it's no good.
As good as the punting units have been, the field goal kicking today has been abysmal.
How much of that has to do with the cold?
I think that's a big part of the cold as well, right? The kickers don't get a chance to do much, right? You have heaters on the sideline, but they're standing around. They're not really getting their feet warm, I would imagine. And then you get out there and you got to make a kick against a cold, hard football. I would imagine it's very difficult, but they come here to do it, and they need to get it done.
So under 5 minutes left now for Grand Valley. They've got to do some scoring, and they've got to do it quickly. Katopka throws on the run, and it's intercepted.
The reason he hasn't been tested all game.
That's James Caesar hauling it in. Five turnovers for the Lakers.
James Caesar has done a great job in the run game all day. He's having an amazing time on the sideline. I love seeing he's got the turnover belt. He's going to show the crowd and make sure they know I'm the guy that could have sealed this football game. That's a great job, and another errant throw by Katopka.
That's a team best 6 interceptions now for the senior from East English Village. And that play right there might have sealed the GLIAC championship.
Rod Oden, his former coach in high school, who also coached Brandon Graham, is probably smiling and very excited right now.
They start this drive on the ground and get inside the 35 to the 34.
Katopka, right, you're just kind of pressing, right? You see the game, it's kind of teetering, and it seems like it's going to get out of reach, and you try to do a little more than you should. He throws it directly to the arms of James Caesar. That's a great job for a guy from within this state, Detroit, making a play for his team and almost stealing his victory.
It's 12 interceptions now for Cole Katopka this season. Tough to overcome those types of numbers. 5 turnovers for Grand Valley today. An opportunistic Ferris State defense. Marvin Campbell has nowhere to run. Grand Valley will start burning some timeouts now with 4:02 left. Dylan Pasquale remains down on the field of play. The right tackle, the junior from Trenton, who was a 3-year starter in high school and was an all-state selection. They continue to celebrate that turnover forced by the Ferris State defense. Ferris State is hoping to climb that mountain again, but finally reached the top, trailing by 8 last year with less than a minute to go. Cy Barnett scored on a jet sweep. That brought Ferris State within 2. They lined up to go for 2. Tony Anise dialed up a double reverse pass. Javon Smith's pass into the end zone a little bit too high, and Valdosta State came away with a really well-played 49-47 affair. So what does it take to be the best? What does it take to win a championship?
This is the first step. This is the first step to getting back to where they want to be. Last year, like we just saw, it was heartbreaking. You go for 2 to try to tie it up, and you come up just a bit short. Now this year you come in, you've had some adversity, not had your quarterback throughout the entire year. Now you have a quarterback in Travis Russell that's doing his best to make sure that you get back there and the outcome's a little different.
Well, Tony Anise has been there. I mean, he's won 2 National Junior Collegiate Championships at Grand Rapids Community College. He's won 3 state championships with Muskegon High School. Russell's going to put it up in the air, and it's knocked away. The intended receiver, Javon Shaw. That was a 3rd down and 9 play, and they went for a big gainer. Grand Valley doesn't have to stop the clock. They don't have to burn a timeout because it stops on the incompletion. There's Tony Anise's resume. He has won everywhere he's gone. Got the best winning percentage of any football program in the state of Michigan while here at Ferris State. Remember this, Ferris State was 34-45 in the previous 80 games before Anise joined the program. 34-45. Since his arrival, 84-15. That is a stunning turnaround. Ferris State takes a delay of game penalty on purpose to give their punter a little bit more room to deliver.
If you take a look at Muskegon in high school in the state of Michigan, they're still very dominant, and I think that's still the residue of Coach Anise, changing the culture and making sure it's similar to what he's doing here at Ferris. And I'm sure the next coach here will be able to do the same.
Yeah, Brooke Fletcher told us the domination that Ferris State has had recently in the Anchor Bone Classic, where Ferris State has owned the trophy in 6 of the last 7 years. Trying to continue that trend here, and they are 3 minutes and 47 seconds away from doing just that.
This is a great job by a big-time player, right? Their best receiver doing double duty right here, punting, and making sure he gets this football out, because if he doesn't get that football off, this game can turn drastically. That's a great job by him.
Yeah, remember Cy Barnett earlier in the game punted one over 70 yards. He's one of 3 punters used by Ferris State this year. Grand Valley on the ground with that play.
If you're a kid and you want to punt, go to Ferris.
He'll get a chance. He'll have to share the duties with a wide receiver and some others once in a while. A pickup of 8 on that play. Katopka wants to throw. That was deflected. Avante Bell got a hand on it to deflect it. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. When you throw picks, you threw picks in college and in high school. How do you get over it if you're the quarterback?
Never thrown a pick, Shep. Who are you talking to? What are you talking about?
How do you get over it? Do you want to start throwing more simple passes, simple routes to get that confidence?
I train a lot of young quarterbacks, and so for me, you have to continue to have the same convictions that you have when you do those interceptions, right? Because once you start trying to protect the ball and kind of be iffy about it, you don't truly believe in it, that's when the interceptions continue to come, and then it becomes a snowball effect.
Safe throw there to Charles Gaines to move the chains. The junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, hauls in just his 4th catch of the year.
That's the type of throw you want to see if it's 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. You kind of need to get the ball down the field now, kind of like this one.
They will do it here, and it's incomplete. Good coverage downfield by Alex Thomas. Just 3:04 left. Let's go down to Brooke Fletcher. Brooke?
Yeah, Matt, you guys were talking about how defensive coordinator Ryan Hodges actually played for Coach Anise back in 1994 at Montrose. Well, when Anise was coaching at Muskegon High School, Hodges actually called him up to be a student teacher, and Anise said, yeah, I'd love for you to come. So that's where their coaching career began. They coached with each other at Grand Rapids Community College, and then they came here to Ferris State. And I asked Anise what it meant to him to have, players come back and want to coach with him, and he said, that's the best part of it all. That's what it's all about, Brooke. Matt?
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, that's good stuff right there. Ryan Hodges is one of those guys. I love talking to him because he's a guy who's willing to accept some input from his players, too. I love that fact. He's admitted, look, stopping the run is our strength. They're trying to make teams one-dimensional. I don't know how successful you think they've done that this year, but it will be important moving forward in the playoffs for Ferris State without question.
Absolutely. You see great coaches like a Bill Belichick. What does he do? He takes away what you do best, right? And if
or
Ferris
your best player.
Exactly, or your best player. If Ferris State can model that and do some of that moving forward, I think they'll be just fine in this playoff push.
Second down and 10. Katopka over the top, and this one is going to be taken to the house. Brandon Wadley on the receiving end of that dive. And the junior from South Bend, Indiana, has his 5th receiving touchdown of the year.
Alex Thomas falls down, unable to make the play. Wadley continuing on what he done a week ago with huge plays. I just hope it's not too late for Grand Valley, but that's a phenomenal play by Katopka, making sure he gets that ball in the hands of a very explosive player, and that explosive player taking it for a touchdown. Second
longest reception of the year for Wadley. The previous long was 63. That one was good from 62. The extra point is good. And just like that, Grand Valley State has made it a 1-touchdown game. Here's the GLIAC standings right now. Bulldogs trying to close out a perfect season. Remember, they don't have another game. Grand Valley State has another game. They get to 9-1 here. They've got one more game next week against Wayne State. 2:40 left. Grand Valley State with just one timeout. Let's see what type of onside kick possibilities we have here.
Right here, right now, 4-minute offense comes into play. And it's called 4-minute offense universally. It's not, it doesn't have to be 4 minutes on the clock, right? There are going to be 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. And they need to get 2 to 3 first downs to make sure they can ice this game. If they get this ball back to Grand Valley, who has some momentum, that could be trouble for Ferris State.
Grand Valley has not attempted an onside kick yet this season. How challenging is that? I know you practice it during the week, but I wouldn't guess there's a whole lot of emphasis on it.
Right, so at Michigan, we like to call guys Main Street or State Street players, right? State Street is where you practice, but Main Street is truly where matters. You can practice things as much as you want, but if you don't get live game reps, it makes it very difficult to execute. And we'll see right here if they even attempt to make an onside kick since they haven't executed in the game yet.
Ferris State has brought just about everybody up front except for Javon Shaw. He stands right around his own 20-yard line. Gorball, a right-footed kicker, and there's the onside kick. Oh, that timeout called by Ferris State, just to get an idea of what Grand Valley was going to try and pull off. What a ball game. Defensively dominated early on. Lakers had a 9-0 lead. Things started to shift a little bit just before the half when Ferris State got on the board. Now they lead at 21-16. If Grand Valley State able to come back and win this game, it would mean huge, not just in the series, but especially being possibly top 4 in the region, which would secure a first-round home game.
The atmosphere Grand Valley State plays in is very important to their success. And so a first-round home game would be monumental for them, especially in their push to try to execute national championship.
Just finished off a 7-play, 95-yard drive, but most importantly, Devin, they did it in 1 minute and 7 seconds. You talked about it. You said they need a quick strike. They got that quick strike. And now they need to recover an onside kick. Let's see if they change it up a little bit.
Definitely going to have to get this onside kick to stay alive. With one timeout left, it's going to be tough to make sure that they get the ball back.
There it is. It's forward, and it's loose there, and it's available at the 45-yard line. Liam Daly thought he had it, and he did it.
They had a chance. Great changeup by the Grand Valley coaching staff and the special teams end. Getting it, that quick kick, make sure the kicker does his job. The ball is laying there for grabs, and nobody with a white jersey and blue pants is able to dive on it. That's a heartbreaker. You execute it exactly the way you want to execute it, and you don't get a chance to even sniff the ball. That's got to be a heartbreaker for Grand Valley.
Well, Gorball did a really nice job. He kicks it forward, then he screens his man off, almost like basketball, like boxing his man out. But Liam Daly, the junior from Jackson Lumen Christi, came in and fell on it to give it back to the Bulldogs. On the ground and staying inbounds for a good positive run from Devontae Harrington.
Ball security hasn't been great for Ferris State throughout this game, and it's very important right now.
How can Grand Valley get the ball back? You got to start tackling the football, right?
You got to tackle that football. You got to tackle that football quickly. You can't let them run around. You cannot. And for Ferris, you have to have some spatial awareness. If you're getting close to that sideline, you got to get down. You cannot go out of bounds here with only one timeout on the opposing team side.
All right, you're the quarterback right now. You're Travis Russell. You've got to be patient. You like to play with tempo like you have all game, but you got to be patient here. Let as much time creep off the clock as possible.
Absolutely. You have a play clock in the back of the end zone. You want to snap this ball with about 3 seconds left. That's even earlier than I would like, right? I want to have that snapped at 3, snapped it at 4, but those seconds are going to matter so that they can't get the ball back.
Cy Barnett gets it to the 39-yard line. So third down at about 5 or so. Grand Valley just the one timeout left you see there. When does Matt Mitchell use it? 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in this tilt.
When you need the ball back, it seems like the clock's always rolling really fast, doesn't it?
Think about taking a timeout after this play right here if you're Grand Valley.
You almost have to, Shepard. If they don't get the first down, you got to take a timeout.
3rd and 5. It'll be Russell, the quarterback, keeping it. Second effort, got it! The big fellas up front never gave up, led by Tyler Allison, and they paved the way for the biggest first down of the day for Ferris.
If you want your teammates to believe that you can take them to the promised land, these are the type of plays that you have to have. Watch him. He should be stopped here for no first down, keeps his feet moving, churning, runs through guys. That's a great job by a guy who's trying to earn the trust of not only his coaching staff, but his teammates and his brothers. He came back to play, and this is what he came back for.
Boy, what effort from Tyler Allison, the senior from Clinton Township, Chippewa Valley, an all-GLIAC second-team member, helping anchor that talented offensive line that averages 6'3", 306. Just 30 seconds remain. They adjust it to now 32 seconds here at the stadium. Now they adjust the clock one more time. 36 seconds remain in the ball game. Russell takes a knee. Grand Valley burns their final timeout. One more chance to tackle the football. There's the Anchor Bone Trophy that has resided in Big Rapids in 6 of the last 7 years.
Shep, I've been a part of these trophy games. I'm just telling you, if you're standing around that trophy, you might want to get out of the way because these guys are going to come stampeding over to get it and parade around their stadium. Because they have a lot of pride in this game, a lot of pride in the university, and they want to make sure the entire crowd sees that they earned what they came here to earn.
As a quarterback at Michigan, which one meant the most to you? The Brown Jug, the Paul Bunyan Trophy, think I know the answer to that.
I don't know, Shep. Listen, the Brown Jug and the Paul Blaine trophies, they're both great trophies and, you know, the great rivalries in not only the state, but in the country. The Paul Blaine was very important, but my very first start as a quarterback was on the road at Minnesota, and I got a chance to win the Brown Jug. So it just holds a special place in my heart. Not only that, I go to the Brown Jug and eat all the time. I have a meal there that they call the Devin Gardner chicken tenders. You go check it out. It's right on South University in Ann Arbor.
The Devin Gardner chicken fingers. That's classic. One more snap for the Bulldogs. They'll take it. They'll take a knee. And they won't have to run another play. Their anchor bone trophy stays in Big Rapids. The Bulldogs, a come-from-behind win, down 9-0, 21 unanswered, and they hold on for the 5-point win over their rival to stay unbeaten in 2019. What a battle. Think of this. The 3 scoring drives for Ferris State totaled 6 plays, 116 yards. That's it. 6 plays and 3 scoring drives. Their defense stood tall. They told us earlier in the week, we feel like we're a little underrated. A lot of people talk about the offense. That's fine. It's all about team, but we feel like we're a little underrated. More people will take note for sure now.
Not only did they talk about their offense, they talked about the other team's defense, right? So when you come to this game as a defense that you think pretty highly of yourself, you have a chip on your shoulder, and they played with the biggest of chips today in this game.
They forced 5 turnovers on the afternoon, and they knock off the Lakers 21-16. Nice rest, a well-earned rest for Tony Annese and his Bulldogs as they get themselves primed for postseason play, and they do it with a win over Grand Valley here at home. So they clinched the GLIAC championship. They've now won 7 of the last 8 in the series. The winning streak during the regular season continues, and it has now reached 28. And they have another undefeated season here in Big Rapids. A lot to be proud of in both programs. A lot of fun to watch. And Grand Valley hoping that they get an opportunity to continue postseason play. They just won't be doing it at home. They need a win next week and a little bit of help. Travis Russell was in for the Harlan Hill Trophy winner JR Campbell from last year, and Russell shined brightly.
This is a great job. He had a great day. Look at that dime. That's the way you start off all your throws. And he had a lot of throws similar to that one moving forward throughout the day. I'm very excited to see him moving forward to make sure they have a chance to push for what they want, which is ultimately to avenge their loss in the national championship game last year. And I think if JR Campbell can't be the guy because of injury, this is your guy, and I think Travis Russell is ready to take that on, and you can see by this run that essentially won the football game.
His stats a lot like yours in college, over 350 total yards today for Travis Russell, 287 through the air and a couple of touchdown strikes, and 78 yards on the ground. The big run late in that drive where Grand Valley thought they might have had a little bit of momentum to move the chains on a 3rd down and long. Russell got it, moved the chains. Ferris State able to close it out. He was impressive. That's back-to-back weeks for him under center in which he's played at a high level.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest game he's played in. He came, he saw, he conquered. That was a great job by him. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Well, Tony Annese now talking to his team, understanding the importance of this one. And this goes all the way back to what we were talking about earlier this morning at our tailgate, where you saw so many ex-Ferris State players show up with their letter jackets, playing for this program back in the 70s, back in the 60s. A couple of guys said, I had to get a new letter jacket. The old one was so torn and ripped, my wife had to buy me a new one, but I wear it proudly wherever I go. Some of those guys coming from as far down as Ohio to come to this game, knowing just how important it was, and now they're going to get a chance to follow this team at home and possibly on the road in postseason play.
The former players, the players out there right now, the fans, they have a lot of pride in this university. Small school but they have a lot of pride in what they do and what Coach Anise has been able to do over this time he's been here. I'm very excited to continue to see them develop. Coach Anise deserves a round of applause, doing it with a different quarterback, making sure that this Anchor Bone Trophy stays here in Big Rapids.
And that quarterback, Travis Russell, is with our Brooke Fletcher. Brooke?
Travis, it was undecided that going into this week who the starting quarterback would be, but once you got named the starting quarterback, what was your mindset coming into this game?
To be honest with you, whether I'm playing or not, I just try to prepare the same all the time. You know, I had it in the back of my head that, hey, maybe they're going to have to count on me this week. You know, if they didn't, I was going to be ready to, but, you know, they called my number, and all I wanted to do was just make senior day worth it, you know, for all the guys that I came in with and set an example for the guys below us that, you know, it's not easy. You're going to have to be tough. You're going to have to fight, but it doesn't matter if you're the starter or not. When the team needs to count on you, you got to be there. And I just hope I was that today.
You came back for your final year of eligibility. It's senior day. I mean, putting up the numbers that you had, over 300 passing yards and 80 rushing. Describe the emotions going through your head right now.
I told all the guys this summer, we had a bonfire for our team retreat. I said, look, boys, whether I play or not doesn't matter to me. There's no group of dudes in the whole world I'd rather strap it up with. I told them that again today. I'm going to say it till the day I die. Whether I play today or not, I wanted to strap it up with the boys in red today, and like there's no greater feeling than how I feel right now, knowing that we're GLIAC champs and we did it the hard way.
You guys beat Grand Valley for the 4th year straight, and you earned a spot in the playoffs. So does this win, I know Coach Anise said that this is a big win, does this put you guys in a good spot to go into the playoffs?
Yeah, this one's a little sweeter, and you know, whether we have a bye next week, we don't play a game, so it'll be good for us to get healthy. We'll see next Sunday. If we have another bye, that's okay with us too. You know, we'll practice and stay ready. But if we have to play a game, you know, we're going to put our hard hats on, start preparing, and get back to work for our 2nd season.
All right, congratulations, Travis.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Matt, back to you.
All right, Brooke, thanks very much. Thanks for all your hard work. Before we jump into your final thoughts, just a quick mention of your pin right here, given to you by Mark Harmon, the son of Tom Harmon, who won a Heisman Trophy at the University of Michigan. Help us with the significance there for us, Devin.
Well, Tom Harmon, great Michigan player, but he's done so many other great things. He was a commentator in the Olympics, and on the night that I was able to wear the 98, he gave me this pin, and I thought it would be very fitting in my opportunity, my first opportunity to call a game, that I wear it, and hopefully I did all right.
All right, what'd you think about Ferris State and what you liked most about their game moving forward for postseason play, because they're going to face a lot of stiff competition moving forward?
I think the most important thing is if they don't have J. Rue, they found their quarterback. You have a guy that's going to throw it, a guy that's going to run it, a guy that's going to be tough, a guy that's going to finish. And that's what you want from a quarterback. And I think Travis Russell were all of those things.
And perhaps just as important is their defense. It was opportunistic today, and it was able to help their team stay in this fight until the very end before the offense could take over. They were down 9-0. Then they went up 21-9, and then they stepped it a little bit more to give this Ferris State Bulldog its 2nd straight undefeated season. What an atmosphere, what energy, and what a ball game. Ferris State knocks off the Lakers 21-16 for Devin Gardner, Brooke Fletcher, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew. This is Matt Shepard saying so long from Big Rapids. Thanks for joining us. The Anchor Bone stays right here.